Hello, and welcome back to part 5 of the Devil, my of the Devil playthrough, which will probably be compiled. So, yeah. Before I get into it, actually, I don't know who is gonna see this, but I feel like I want to do something more with this game than just playing it. I want to like playing it once at least. I really want to experience this game because I've realized after reflecting from last night's recording, this game is like phenomenal. But this game is phenomenal. Am I crazy? Is that how you say it? Whatever. It's great. This game is amazing. Like I was like pretending glazing it to some of my friends as like a bit, but no, this game is like this. It's good. It's good. God, it's good. The writing is just so good. The theming, the commentary, whatever. It's all so good. And I'd like to get my thoughts out to it once I'm done with it. and I also can't wait for episode 2 if the quality of it is just going to be this good or even better. Love the characters, love the setting, love the story. I love Sarah specifically. Her theming is great. I love the game mechanics. Like the game mechanics, they're great, but I'm not even like that's not like my focus anymore. Like I wanted to play episode 1 because of like all the like the card game stuff, but like the game's so good anyway that this like the like it's just the the, the game like the playing part is like the not the main focus, but like an an addendum sort of, and it just fits so well with it. Though I mean, it did kind of accelerate like that first part with like the first part with when you're like cross-examining the witness, but it's framed like a cute like a quick time event. Like maybe I should have had tutorials for that, but also I feel like that should have been in episode 0. Like I went like 2-3 hours without without like actual gameplay, and then I just get like shot in the face. But it's fine. Pacing, whatever. Who cares? What did it say? How'd it go? So I was not. My mic was not on. 12:37 p.m. That's like an hour or two after the David's voicemail, which is really sweet. I should have put this. Didn't find shit. Oh, it's Fran. Gucci belt. Only reason she ever got to doors because I chased that scarecrow of a platinum plan through hell and back. Frankly, it was a godlike feat for me to nail down anything as concrete as an address from these gogs. And their offices weren't listed on the building's website or directory, so I'd ask the janitor. But you did find a psychiatrist's office? Sort of. They said they were, and the place that, looked the part? Why, because they had couches? She didn't get past the receptionist. Sorry, I thought because you're with, the company. No, I wanted to help. I just wish I could have done more. Don't beat yourself up. It's hard to be even half as useful as I am. For what it's worth, the atmosphere, the looks, the furniture, it did feel like the company in there. Psychiatrist? Question mark. Met with a psychiatrist more than one occasion in past few months, but said psychiatrist worked in an office. Reminded Jess of a noble. They reminded Jess of Noble. And took Fran hours to locate. Remains unclear whether he was receiving coaching in counter corporate espionage practices or if he was getting genuine psychiatric care. Okay. I'm glad I have a chance to redeem myself. Like, I thought that one trial was going to be like it, and then I just like failed it horribly. But no, I get to try again. And this time I know the mechanics. I know how to use my brain. Uh, I need to get some water. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. And I'm also finding it hard to breathe for some reason. I maybe I need one of those inhalers. But ultimately, we don't know if David actually was talking to someone or just getting his CCE training recertified. Don't bother apologizing. She only cares about results. You did more than enough, both of you. At the very least, they divided Noble's attention for a while. I mean it. Good work, Fran. And thanks for the urgency. If you really mean that, you could always throw in a tip. 30% is the going rate in my industry. How about I take 5% off your tab instead? Tab? Oh, minor. The state pays for my legal fees. Don't they? Oh no, signal must have cut out. Right, surprised it took them this long. What do you mean? You were tolerated yesterday because leadership was focused on PR. Today, you're the lawyer who put the company's hottest product right in the state's crosshairs. Can't talk, can't breathe, my tongue's getting dry. I'll be alright. I'm still an officer of the court. Strict timeline, though, right? Yes, they can't stop you from investigating the corporate campus. But they'll gladly lose your guest pass ID at every door along the way. There's still service passageways and stairwells. Guards that can be fooled and peons that can be manipulated. I use my other skill set to get around, so take mine. What? Your pass? I'll tell him we got ours mixed up in the bathroom or whatever. I can be a pretty convincing klutz when I need to be. I never would have guessed. But if David knew I was endangering your career, I can be a pretty convincing crybaby when I'm in trouble too. Besides, the one and only Dr. David Asher wrote me a new, glowing letter of recommendation every quarter I work for him, since he kept forgetting that he already had. And who knows, maybe I should try a new field. This detective work stuff is pretty fun, so maybe Like, I don't know, secretary for a homicide detective or something? Didn't say cops are all short. Girl with long legs could go far. Don't be a cop. Why don't you join Morgan? You can be a secretary for a homicide paralegal. Honestly, Tris, I doubt they could afford you. That's 2086. I've been wondering what the year was. I kept forgetting what the year was. It's 2086. I thought it was 2088. Morgan, how did you get so turned around? God only knows. Luckily, I found my way here, though. Such a relief to see a familiar face. Right. Meeting all the characters again. Listen, Morgan, I'm not sure that I should actually be talking to you without legal present. Oh. I mean, leadership hasn't even told us how David died. How much help could I be? I see. It's not that I don't trust you or anything, it's just I think with the Sarah issue, you should do whatever you have to protect yourself, Dawes. Yeah. Though, for what it's worth, I doubt you'll be in any trouble. Oh, that's good to hear. Does he have a modded arm, or is it like super bandaged? No, if anything, it's the big names who are going down. Going down? State was practically licking its lips. When I finally left the courthouse last night, they're hungry for blood, looking to carve out a huge slice of Noble's flesh. What, like, find some jail time? In the first 2 weeks, sure. Then, sanctions. I understand what a sanction is, pretty much. They can't sanction Noble who were too big to fail, too valuable to lose. You're exactly right. That's what they say. And that's how they'll justify nationalizing the company. I think I'm going to be sick. I just hope your board goes quietly instead of what? Scapegoating, offering up smaller names and silver platters. Full cooperation and government oversight on the surface. Slaughter beneath as a clean house and rip out anyone who could testify. No one will believe you once you're labeled a disgruntled former employee, right? And if the public's lost faith in the Animate 16, they can't do a recall. Not at this scale. The state will make them do a flat refund. Flat refund? The losses would be... Yeah, your board probably just wants Sarah to go away so they can focus on their fight with the state. A tough fight, but one they know they won't personally have to risk anything in. That's why I'm hoping I can win this trial. Well, if I won, that would mean Sarah's not an AI, David Asher was always of sound mind, and there's nothing wrong with the Animate 16. Everyone wins. Sorry, what am I saying? I only meant to stop by, and thank you for your help yesterday. After all, you were the one who approved Sarah's registration. You win. Win what? Ask away. Well, if you insist. What? 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 What do you mean locked? I haven't been a... No. No. Oh no. Oh no. Maybe I can make up some chips? Humor me for a moment. What's the company's official statement, may I? Same as any rational company that wants to make money, we don't screw with it. Smart products are profitable. Products with their own priorities are anything but. That being said, AI is a concern for marketing, not product development. Does that mean like all AI? Like, surely that doesn't mean like video game AI. AI is a concern for marketing, not product development. We spend a lot of money reassuring our public that there's no risk. Because the public doesn't really understand how ironclad the tenets are. Because you use Tesseract? Trying to code out An AI in Tez is like trying to pick yourself up and throw yourself. Nonsensical and self-defeating. Your scanner showed Sarah was running on test rack yesterday. The language is safe as you say? Isn't that proof enough? Proof or nothing. For an AI lying to another system about the code you're running is child's play. Ooh. For an AI built by David Asher, something that simple would be... I change the subject. Wait, so making an AI takes more than time and resources? It isn't an issue of funding? No, you can just keep adding more data. You can't just keep adding more data. The tenets underlie everything. The higher you stack, the more easily you'll topple. Make it sound like building an AI is impossible, even for David Asher. Any chance he'll testify to that? It sounds impossible, but he's dead, and looks like it was his android that did it. So I guess he was just that good. Better than you'll ever know. Oh, wait, I got it. Frick! I shouldn't have clicked that fast. Hopefully I can get it though. Noble spent months promoting the A16 as the culmination of David Asher's work. So now that the marketing line is suddenly a huge liability, can you tell me how much he actually contributed? I mean, he was involved in pretty much every step of the process, but it's designed for synthetic motor neurons. That was the big one. The components that allow your warm androids to move realistically. It pushed the timetable for warm androids ahead by years. And yet, compared to what goes on in Sarah's brain 1,000 times a second, Dave was only giving the company the most meager of the fruits that his private work bore. So if Noble ever did find out how much he and his assistants had achieved, they'd feel that he'd been holding out on them. The company, they were appreciative of his contributions. I'm sure the researchers that he overtook by leaps and bounds weren't pleased, but the board was very enthusiastic. Did that spur them to be protective of David? Or they feared that he was gaining too much influence, becoming irreplaceable? No, they need a strong motive to justify killing their golden goose. Mere paranoia isn't enough. With these people, it has to be the bottom line. The easiest way to threaten their bottom line would be screwing with their androids. Out of all that's happened, one has to wonder if the A16 is compromised. I stayed up all night, sick with dread at the idea. The data doesn't support it. Sales have been strong. The A16 Bates code was logged in over 2 quarters ago. If it weren't an issue, we would have got it by now. And I would have been axed a long time ago. How many A16 are out there anyway? We just passed 9 million sold. Not flying off the shelves like the 14 or 15 so far, but the profit margin makes up for it. You mentioned data? Yeah, practically got the spreadsheet seared into my retinas. What do you want to know? No, I missed it. Oh my god, I completely missed it. Oh. You know what? Screw it. It's like 20 dialect pieces. 20 is a little much. It's an underestimate, but... I want that dialogue piece! So this is locked right now, but I think it's just because I have to learn more about tenants. Yes! I know you're convinced the tenants are safe. So how do you square with what happened to David? There's a cat next to a dog. First answer that comes to mind is the dog to the left or to the right? Which is happening in the other room. Sure, that's fine. First answer that comes to mind is the dog to the left or to the right? It's neither, bro. I'd say the dog's on the right. That was fast. What the fuck was that? The cat is on the left. Except half the people say left, half to say right. But actually their answer is almost entirely dependent on their native tongue. whether it's read right to left or left to right. Not gonna lie, I didn't even read the thing, so the language they speak affects how they process information. The language affects how they think. It's the same for machines. People can learn new languages, and it can change your perspective. But machines can't learn a new source code. Every update's a reincarnation. If that entry did kill David, it wasn't because an O returned as a 1 somewhere. It's because there's something fundamentally wrong with it. Personally, I think it's cruel to bring something that flawed into the world. Yeah, unnecessarily cruel. Alright, read this. Timetables, irreplaceable, compromise, spreadsheets, sales. Okay. What do the error reports look like? Are customers reporting a lot of issues? Error counts are markedly low compared to the last gen. Also the hardware complaints, it looks like. Batteries are running out too quick, eye tracking up by a degree or two. Typical stuff. As cliche it sounds, 99 of these things get fixed once they turn auto updates back on. So no killer robots getting filed away under bug reports. How and where are they being sold? What's the distribution pattern look like? They're distributed like you expect. This is where there are more people, there are more androids. Coastal cities like ours, of course, have the most of both. This is a coast? I want to see the ocean. I haven't seen the ocean here. I want to see the ocean. And since the A16 in particular is marketed as being relatively luxury, relatively consumer, they don't sell well outside population centers. They can do the real hard labor jobs, but cold models can do the same work with a lot less maintenance. So where has the A16 outperformed then? Customer service, healthcare, childcare, lots of hospitals, offices, and, you know, adult industries. Oh. I see what you mean. Clink, 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 if you know what I mean. Sorry, I didn't mean to be blunt, no, it makes sense. They're warm and soft to touch and obedient. Yo. I thought it was gonna be 2025. They procrastinated for 60 years. I'm just surprised to hear from a company employee. There's a lot of people at company who won't talk about it, but I work in quality assurance. I've seen too many damages to pretend it's not happening. Do they have... I suppose... Do they put genitals on the robots? There's no reason to have genitals on the robots. Aside from, like... They'd only need, like, a pipe to act like as a urethra, I guess. But, like... there's no reason for a... There's no reason to put on a penis. This doesn't make sense. This don't make sense. I was just glazing this game, but then I came across the ultimate plot hole. They're putting penises on the robots. For what purpose? I work in quality assurance. I've seen too many damages to pretend it's not happening. Damages? What we call it when a customer tries to return a product that's clearly broken beyond repair. Oh. Very high turnover in the pink market. Hasn't stopped you from selling to them. Well, we don't sell to them, not directly. There are resellers, and companies never pretended to be interested in going after them. Are there resellers? I thought that right to repair got shot down again. There's been a gray market for software androids for years, or decades, depending on your definition of android. Maybe they did get to it this year. But, like, it was one of those, like, Boston Dynamic dogs, something. Based on the sales numbers I've seen, RTR getting canned is barely a blip on the radar. Sorry, didn't mean to make you uncomfortable with this topic. Huh? Me? No, I don't care. I just realized my left sock's inside out. Damn, I'm wondering about that myself. He bought that. Episode 1.5, we buy a warm android for purposes. Shipping. This floor is basically a showroom, but you have a This floor is basically a showroom, but you have a real factory while south of the city limits, correct? Yeah, biggest company manufacturing complex in the hemisphere. Got any data on this shipping out of there? Anything stand out? There's some prep work for the holiday bump, looks like. Might sound early to get started now, but we usually see... Oh, something wrong? No, the numbers are all normal, but the data's been edited. Is that unusual? Well, this section is just a count of how many were sent, where there's not a room for errors, so there shouldn't be much need for corrections. There's no problem though. I can view the edit history and see what it was fixed. Okay, that's weird. Was something added? Deleted? No, the overall sum is the same. It's just a bunch of swaps. Like here. 21FFCE-010311 taken out. Return for adjustments. 27FCDD-019634 substituted in. Shipment leaves on time. 67BBTC-899543 returned to assembly for revisions. Replaced by 67BBTD-592698. Shipment leaves on time. So does all that strike you as odd, Mr. Dawes? Replacement before shipping is uncommon, but when it happens by the batch load. Spot individual unit imperfections among the shipment at this stage of the process. Must have been someone with a lot of experience or authority. Probably both. Must have? You don't know who made these changes? I can tell you there's somebody important. Small last minute changes to which androids got shipped out. Not very juicy on its own, and it's a long way away from explaining why someone would want to kill David. But it was hidden. That means someone didn't want it found. Oh god. If I have to use this ever, it's over. Also there's a lot of evidence that I don't think it's just getting used. Like, there's stuff like, the basement footage and the plans, the talk screen. What is the saw shaker doing here? Prediction? A witness is gonna say, I was eating a nice steak and I had like an entire, and I was like, it's super salty as I usually like it. No, they're having like those like drinks where you like line it with salt for whatever reason, and I was like, and then like somebody was gonna kill me with a knife, so I had to drink my drink fast, and then I ran away safely. But no, you can't do that because you would be choking on it. Hire me in Circle Studios. Okay, thanks for sharing that data. Sure. Did you find out what you were looking for? Hell if I know. Fair enough. Any other questions before I go and find a hole to hide my head in? I'd like you to take a look at this. Chemistry is a little outside my purview. What is this? Compound found in David Asher's blood. The poison? What is it? Didn't match anything in any database the medical examiner had access to. That's crazy. Here's a crazy idea to follow it up. See if it's a match for anything in Noble's internal databanks. We don't make poison here. I'm not sure what that accomplished. No, but this is a factory floor. Could be making baby blankets out there. You'd still have hazardous materials around. You think it was something industrial? Suppose it could be. Looks like it's carbon based. Narrows it down a lot. It's not exactly. What is it? Doesn't make any sense, but it's a match for patent NRD-52345-S. Synthetically produced neurotransmitter analog for usage in organic android components. Cyanotonin. That explains a lot. Neurotransmitter would interact directly with the nervous system. David's case, depressing it enough to put his life in danger. It also explains why it was a precedent in its personal manufacture. Sears' nervous system, with 10 times its weight in platinum, must be pumped full of it. So they think that was what killed him? Helen Young led the development of Cyanotone, didn't she? Oh yes, she did. I should go ask her about its composition then. Only someone her level wouldn't be able to answer specific questions about a compound formulated years ago. But she does have a reputation for being very detail-orientated. That works out nicely then. They say she's the type of person to micromanage how much water people drink at a 15-minute stand-up. I just remember that she once said, bathroom breaks are timesheet theft. Aren't they? I'm kidding. But you should be careful about criticizing a superior where people could be listening. Good thing we've got privacy in your office. Uh-huh. No one but the two of us listening in. Thanks for cooperating, Dawes. The state storms the building and starts zip-tying people. I'll let them know you were helpful. Oh my god! Yeah, oh yeah, nice joke. You are joking, right? Oh, one more thing. Oh, cool. I'm glad I got that. Actually, there is one more thing I wanted to ask you. What's that? How long have you been a corporate spy? What? Yesterday you left it slipped that you worked in consulting. I noticed that. Who said it? Was it Helen Young that said in consulting means that they're like a spy? Had your guard down because I'm not part of the industry? I was a consultant. What are you talking about? When I walked in here, you said you didn't know how David died, but just now you called cyanotoxin a poison. What? I just assumed the chemical was found in a dead man, and I'm sure you got practice answer to every logical point I could raise, so I'll just say this. Does the nervous guy bit really work on people? Keep your cool when people don't know what you're thinking. But if you act a little jumpy, they feel inclined to calm you down. Before they know it, they're spilling their guts just to have something to fill the silence with. That's not entirely an act these days. Shies! 5 is crazy. That's shies, Morgan. Thank you. To answer your question, I did 3 tours in consulting. 4 quarters of internal affairs, spy hunting at the Western Division, and 8 embedded at Howe Industries. 24 months wearing different faces, answering to different names, sleeping for 1 hour at a time with a 3D printed shive under my... Is it that serious? Oh my god! My nerves are completely shot. My cover wouldn't last a day if I went back under. So you're a spy for Noble? Retired. Working 6 days a week. 5.5 days a week. And in quality assurance. Trust me, this position is a cushy, generous reward for my past services. You can't be that retired. Clearly know more than you're letting on. I have some old inboxes I still check. So can you tell me what the hell is happening around here? Why I'm the one investing David's death while your old coworkers are off twiddling their thumbs? It's that story. Soldier, the blood transfusion. Blood, not accident. Finally shooting the trade. Something happened to him, Master? Did the transfusion not last? No, there's nothing wrong with the blood. It's the story itself. There was a soldier, and he did get injured, but it was on a base during a training exercise. There's a medical tent 10 meters away the whole time. The transfusion was just a gratuitous life test. His life was never in any danger. Doesn't make for much of a tearjerker. Not even a good photo op. Which our competitors understood. One of them, maybe a few of them, got a hold of the story, started puffing it up, astroturfing, painting of social virals. But the next morning, we had the military thinking we were leaking like a sieve. Meanwhile, the media is bombarding us with requests for videos and our interviews and data. And the state's praising our tech with one side of their mouth while threatening to mist us with the other for getting so greedy. Even a noble CCE has been slammed ever since. Trying to find an off-ramp for the story we can walk back the claim zone without torpedoing our state contracts. I don't know what happened to Asher, whether it's AI gone rogue or company and fighting gone too far. But I can tell you it wasn't done by consultants. Episode 1 uncovered the power plays at work at Noble Electronics. Okay, That's cool. I like this. I like how there's like side. I like how there's like side plots. That's all you wanted to know? Psychiatrist. You worked in CCE. Was David actually seeing a psychiatrist? Was it all cloak and dagger bullshit? I know that office. Know some old coworkers who see them. So it's a friend? They do both. So he's probably getting training, and he was probably talking to someone. Sorry, not the answer you were hoping for? Hoping? I wasn't hoping for any answer. The answer I expected was... You okay? Hmm? That's all. If you've got any advice. You're saying you want a consultation? Couldn't hurt, right? This company, all these companies hate to lose. So don't fight them. Makes them think you're fighting for them. Well, that's just business as usual for me. 1:22 p.m. Maybe like an hour after. Up until now, there's been this grating ambiguity about what actually killed David. We've had to use guesses and process of elimination and even a goddamn swit in him. Finally identified what the poison was. Now I just need to figure out how it got there. Or rather, who put it there. Okay, hear me out. Sarah is pretty young, like less than 3 years old, and according to Sigmund Freud's psychosexual stages or whatever theory, um, it's actually 0 to 18 months. That's like what he said. But whatever. That's when you have like an oral fixation. So what if Sarah was just, sucking her thumb, like a baby? I don't know why I added the bit about Freud. I could have just whatever. Elevator shaft somewhere under above the ground, with kilometers of concrete facelessness and bureaucratic authority surrounding me on all sides. Enemy in every cubicle and every office of the floor of the temple, built to interpret the inscrutable divinations of a temperamental oracle named Share Price. Back in the belly of the beast. Yet I feel more at ease now that I have it all weakened. Makes sense. So the company's evil, sort of like Lethal Company, but not evil as in there's a little monster in there, but it's just like capitalist evil, like, you know. Now that I know Noble's my enemy, I know where to aim. All that's left to do is pull the trigger. Good thing I didn't bring a knife to this fight. I brought my gun. That sound just now tells me that it's playing its role perfectly. Never have a real use for the firearm for this much bloatware. Just by carrying it around and paying attention to when the hard safety flips on. Always gives a heads up when the police have entered the vicinity. Detective Reyes, it's Morgan. Chuckles. Chuckles? I'm gonna get your contact info when you got me cleared for the crime scenes yesterday. Delete contact. Block this contact. Stop voice to text. How to stop voice to text. Just wanted to check in. Report this contact voice to text disable. And I advise you that Noble's scared shitless of you stomping in and nationalizing the place. They might be a little uncooperative when it comes to fetching documents. Block this contact. What makes you think we are Noble? My bad then. Forget I said anything. Whatever you do, don't start your investigation with our stock buyback program. Trying reverse psychology, it only works if I... It only works if I care what you think. Stop voice it. Stop voice to text. That time, that I'd have to ride the elevator for the next half hour. Morgan Counselor, your presence has been requested on the upper floors. Deja vu. Might you have a moment to speak in private? Always, but who's asking? The board. What are the chances? I've been wanting to speak to them too. 1:40 p.m. Wow, she really was in that elevator for a long time. Noble Electronics, Northeastern Headquarters. Conference Room 108A. New place. Evangeline Morgan. Helen Young. Thank you for making this time in your schedule. Her posture, her tone, the fold of her clothes, professional, dialed up to 11. Corporate armor, full set. Her guard is up. Just Morgan is fine. Just a few minutes early, Morgan. Typical corporate, never be the first one to show up. Pissing contest nonsense. Doesn't even make sense. They called me in here. How could I possibly be early? Oh, that's embarrassing. I didn't mean to catch you all off guard. I'll go wait outside in that case, so you all can collect yourselves. I'm just surprised that Noble Electronics could screw up something as simple as a meeting start time, but I'm not well versed in the art of staring at emails. You've made your point, counselor. Don't push your luck. Yo, I'm getting 3 per. I'm getting like 5. It's shice. Okay, you've made your point, counselor. Don't push your luck. Not with these people. Might I dare to ask who these people are? You don't have time to remember their names, and it won't do you much good either. Right, so they're not just rich. They're anonymous rich. The Mob Act. Safety of individuals with income above. So, that is dystopian shit. Oh my god. You get protected by the government if you're rich? Oh my god. That is crazy. Spoken like a true believer. Except Mob Act is what normal people call it. Touting the party line but allowing yourself one instance of rebellion? Or just a slip of the tongue? I've never faulted anyone for wanting their privacy, especially not job graders. But it must get pretty convenient not having a name to call them. Oh, really? Conversations with them are always one-sided. Sounds like a great environment to do business in. Look at the building you're standing in. We managed to eke out a meager profit somehow. So if it works, didn't take you for the might makes right type. But didn't take you for a clueless bore incapable of reading the room. Sorry, did I say anything off color? I was only being casual since it's just 2 of us in here. It's more like Maybe we should take advantage of this rare bit of privacy. Clear the air. You're here to ask about Sarah, yes? As I said before, I had no idea that Dr. Asher had been building an android on his private property. I can say here now that no one at Noble Electronics ever suspected he was working to undermine the Tenet framework. She's trying to stun Canada in her tone, but she's choosing her words with a surgeon's scalpel. Was she coached? Is that the truth, or is that your statement as a VP of Android Futures? It's both, of course. Dr. Asher was almost more than happy to hold himself up and work independently. We both know that. True, he can be pretty reclusive. I'm sure it caused all kinds of headaches, him disappearing on you all like that. It must have been especially difficult when he came back with breakthroughs that propelled Noble to the top of the industry. I just realized. Wait, so if the gun's safety clicked when the police entered the building, it was off in the elevator? The mob hack does not give a no fire zone in the company's headquarters? Okay then. I'm so good at finding plot holes. This game kind of sucks, actually. Okay. Especially difficult when I get back. You should take a seat. That's everyone. Shall we begin? Friendly bunch? Is there a problem with the sound? Anyone get muted by accident? No. Okay. Thanks for having me. I don't want to take too much of your time. I'm actually a bit flustered having you all show up here. Didn't expect to talk to anyone higher up than a service associate. Investigating the death of Dr. David Asher. Why wouldn't we take this seriously? Because you want me to go away? At least half of you do. The others aren't sure yet. You must be confused. The board is, as always, united in its decisions and its visions for the direction of this company. Huh. A board of directors is just 13 roulette rolling psychopaths who get together and vote on whether or not to execute their CEO every 6 months. None of them would be where they are if they were anything else. But I happen to know what that kind of person thinks. The way I see it, there are two possible outcomes. Option 1, oppose me. Shut me out completely, stonewall me, stall reference, and wait for me to walk into trial so unprepared and ill-informed that I inevitably lose. Obviously, I don't like this option. I can't be big fans of it either. If I lose, the world will learn that David Asher was killed by an android he programmed. And every customer you've ever had, and every lawyer they have ever seen on TV, and every vibrant, strapping, young 60-year-old junior senator looking to make a name for themselves, will use your company balance sheet as their personal chew toy. The company is more than capable of, after which the state still might just gobble you whole, throw down enough sanctions to de-person whoever among you cries, no fair. The company and its allies at the Capitol can more than fend for themselves. Yes, probably, but not definitely, which makes it a gamble. Still my turn to talk? Then on to option 2. You cooperate with me. I use what you give me, or forge for me, to win at the trial, proving that David wasn't killed by an android. When the markets open tomorrow morning, you'll all get another round of stock buybacks on the initial dip. Then pat yourselves on the back for staying calm as you continue to profit David's legacy for the next 100 years. You won't even have to worry about him speaking out of turn. That's only if you win. If the company cooperates with you, denies that David was killed by the state beats you anyway, it would be catastrophic. It's a gamble, but if at least some of your board wasn't considering taking it, I wouldn't be here. We're all busy people, and I hate to drive a wedge between such a close-knit group of friends. So how about this? Option 3. Hedge your bets. What? Put a little in black, put a little in red. Spread the love and lower your risk profile. Don't make any statements about the trial. Tell the media the state's got your windpipe in a vice. Wait until just before the markets open Monday morning to spend out your PR packages for rubber stamping. After you already know who's won. One way or another, the trial will be over before the end of the day. You'll never hear from me again. So just don't shut me out completely for another few hours. And does anyone second that motion? Very well. We can answer some of your questions, Counselor. Better make them count then. No reason to be shy now. The poison that killed David Asher has been identified as... I need a piss. Be right back. I'm back. The poison that killed David Asher has been identified as cyanatonin. You're familiar? It's one of our many patented materials, as I recall. We called it pretty easily yesterday. Gee, what's changed? But intellectual property law can be very complex. Counselor. Not sure how much I or anyone at the company could tell you about cyanatonin at this time. Well, if you can tell me about it, who could? You did lead its development, didn't you? Yes, I oversaw the project, which just makes it that much harder to speak freely, without compromising the confidentiality of the teams that reported to me. I understand. Sounds like bullshit, I don't believe it. That was so much text, am I crazy? Am I illiterate? Oh. But I'm not asking for trade secrets here. It's a perfect match for the only foreign substance found in his blood. Cyanatonin is what killed him. The state will say the same. It's not possible. Care to elaborate? I'm sorry, but I can't say any more this time. So much for cooperating. If I were to ask you as an offer of the court, then I'd ask you to be patient and wait until this afternoon. ATA Rockford has already called on me to testify. Already? Damn it, I got a copy of the cop's late through arrival. I must have got straight for the throat first thing this morning, left the investigating for later. Hell, knowing her, she probably managed to ID the cyanatonin before she went to bed last night. So are we still having this conversation then? As I said, I'm sorry, but I have to take more than just personal feelings into consideration here. There's a great deal at stake. Corporate speak for you're too stupid to understand why I'm being dense. She's just trying to shield the company, plain and simple. LARPing? Helen Young Dark on a crusade against government outreach. What's funny is I think the word LARPing is used correctly here, but I've heard LARPing used so many times as just pretending to be by blunder. LARPing is crazy. But if she's that busy defending Noble, she might be leaving herself unguarded. Why is she here anyway? Why am I speaking to her and not her lawyers? That's right, this is a vulnerable position for her. She wouldn't put herself in check like this, not unless she was forced to. Oh! Whoa! Whoa! So that's it. Acting as their mouthpiece isn't some honor for her. This is punishment. She's being used as a meat shield. They're upset with her, perhaps even suspicious of her. Now to find out why. Has David's will been located? It has never gone anywhere. It's on a safety deposit box. She even has it read out what all the unknowns surrounding his death have been made into knowns. So David's will hasn't even become part of the equation yet? Might not be for weeks at this rate. Is that calculated though? I think I can... Actually, let me read that again. Safety deposit box. She even have read it once all the knowns surrounding death have been made into knowns. Will hasn't been part of the equation yet. Okay, I'm gonna stay for now. And she's not jealous. I don't think he was a friend, so I don't think she's jealous. Whatever else the court ends up leaving her, Sarah is remarkably lifelike android. If things worked out differently, you might have wanted her as the A16 poster girl, or A17, or 18. Could have driven a lot of sales. Her cute little pout projected across the sides of skyscrapers. A hypothetical of a hypothetical. As has been made tragically obvious to all of us, that android is nothing like the A16. And it may be associated with her products going forward as nothing more than a massive liability. Yet you wouldn't have the A16 without her. They could take her apart and learn from her. They could have the world. So what was the motive to try and pry Sarah away from him? I'll go for it. Sarah's worth a lot of money, in part because her creators isn't around to replicate her. Were you all hoping to take her by force and first engineer her? Once David was out of the way, don't be absurd. That machine is nothing but lawsuits and congressional hearings and PR nightmares waiting to happen. Break! Either, no matter how she stands. Only needs steady growth and increased market share. Okay. David's will. I'll press here. For something in that will you'd rather not have seen the light of day? We are not jealous in-laws who've been bribing the county's sheriff. Oopsies. Okay. Maybe you are jealous. Where am I at now? Oh god, 99. Surprised you weren't more shaken up today, Miss Young. I'm processing. After all, you and David have a history. You started at the same time, didn't you? Yes, we were colleagues and cordial with one another. What I'm gonna say? Stay. Okay, there's... Okay. Only option. Oopsies. Don't be so modest. You helped him create the one-point auction that saved the company. That's a gross exaggeration. It was far too large an organization to be affected by the contributions of any single individual. Supposed to right. No one person could change Noble's fortunes overnight. Except for David Asher, of course. But he was a once-in-a-generation talent. The guy Noble chose for the advertisements and the one they commissioned editorials about. Sorry, you're right. I shouldn't have equated the two of you. I hope his one-point auction doesn't fall out of favor now that he's gone. Yes, well, we certainly wouldn't want that. She didn't exactly explode with rage, but she definitely reacted. That's real jealousy there. Whether it ever boiled over, though. I mean, this is my only thing. I didn't mean to pry about your relationship with David or lack thereof. I suppose I'm just curious about his standing inside Noble as a whole. David Asher was and always will be an outstanding contributor to the company's forward progress. Nothing will ever change that. Not even if he's killed by his own creations. That would be a tragic element that would call for reconsideration of his legacy. She was almost off guard there. It's just surprise for me to ask him about Sarah ruining his reputation. I mean, of course he did. Besides Sarah, David's reputation was crystal clean. He never went against the company once. Did he? That's mistaken, and he and Noble were on bad terms? In that case, I might get the impression that some parts of leadership were actually glad to see him taken off the chessboard. That is not... Something buzzing in your ear? Fine. Suppose it makes no difference if you hear it now, or at the trial, or on your feet tomorrow. Dr. David Asher was being sued by the company for breach of contract. Satisfied? Now we're talking. Well then, suppose that's... Blackjack. So you kind of mentioned... Wow, these guys have said nothing so far. Dude's in the back. So you kind of mentioned this breach of contract earlier. Not without complicating the company's position unnecessarily, no. But there's no hiding at this point. It'll all come out soon enough. There's a paper trail. Much more than that. We've been making moves to let him go for some time. Noble Electronics parting ways with David Asher must have been one hell of a breach of contract. What did he do? Betray the confidence of the board. Was he contesting the suit? Putting up a fight? Engaging in a legal battle against a mega corporation without even telling me? Well, he's getting sued, huh? So recently, yes. You mean until he died? How recently? He spoke on Friday? That was what you talked about in his parlor? No, this was earlier in the day. We were in this room, actually. Him, me, and several members of our legal department. It was in arbitration. and they did come to an agreement. A compromise? He wouldn't resign from his position in 2 quarters, foregoing royalties on any products we would develop. After the next 24 months, in exchange, he wouldn't be publicly fired, and he would still be credited on all past, present, and future filings. How very reasonable. On paper, maybe. No matter what the deal was, letting go of David Nasher's insanity. Be reasonable, yes? We ended on a good note, I'd like to think. We shook hands. Even took a photo. Yeah, that looks... I love his little hair tie. It's cute. Lovely. Something funny? Didn't know the board told jokes. They don't. That was legal, expressing their displeasure with how much paperwork my good note ending left them stuck with. Children. It was just one night of overtime. So while they were spending their Friday night blowing the ink dry, we paid a visit to David's penthouse. Something left unfinished? Professionally, it was a good meeting. There was no yelling, no finger pointing. Much cleaner than expected. But Drescher did not want to retire. He didn't want to be forced out of the company when he was the one when he had contributed so much. I didn't enjoy doing that to him, so I came over that night to apologize to him. Talked, reminisced. When he brought us the drinks, I thought he'd be toasting to a new day. A few minutes later, he was dead. Because of that AI. That AI. Any idea how it came to be? I honestly said I had no idea he was working on it. My question was more broad than that. He really believed David built an eye? How do you think he did it? How does Noble Electronics think he managed to work around the tenants? It's quite beyond my area of expertise. And no one at the company could call themselves an expert in legal technology. But someone in the R&D department have theorized that he created what they call a wax-wane decaying priority loop, which, as I understand, is an unstable resource-intensive theoretical method for swiftly randomizing the weight amongst priesthood tenants. Well, about as far off Taggart as it gets with that guess. But that kind of elegant. That kind of inelegant brute force nonsense seems a far cry with the kind of thing David would create, and I seem to have taken us over our allotted time slot. But I didn't even get to wave goodbye. You're serious about this trial? Don't I look it? You're not just making a play, you're actually going to defend that thing? I'm just defending myself, Miss Young. Oh yes, of course you are. My mistake. I hope you might be rooting for me, to tell you the truth. I might yet save everyone's stock options. The stock options will be alright either way. They always are. The gamble I offered you, board. Which outcome would you bet on? Finally, an easy question. What I bet is whatever the outcome, the company will eat it up and shit it out with very little difficulty. You painted an ugly picture back there, but I've already seen the future. It's just another marketing gimmick. Great Dr. Escher, too smart, too bold, too far ahead of his time. What spark of his genius remains buried in the inspired animate 19. I guess that depends on... You're exactly right. He is more valuable noble as a dead man. Dead man can't step out of line or put their foot in their mouth or hold politically inconvenient opinions. To a good salesperson, a dead man is just another selling point. Pardon my outburst. I'm just tired. It's been a very long week for me. I'll let you prepare for your afternoon then, Dr. Young. No one calls me doctor, as I'm not you. You didn't want the title? At times, I have thought very little of it. The PhD I earned from a noble-owned school. Biochem. Could have been a large department at Noble before they started work on warm androids in earnest. Probably didn't have many expectations for the program back when she was a part of it, but I was proud of it when I first got it. Something changed? Never seemed to catch on. People didn't use it, so eventually I told people not to use it. Very high IQ social power play. David never insisted that people use it either. It's very different, and I think you know it. David Asher didn't have to. 2:50 p.m. I'm going into this trial, my trial, with a lot less ammunition than I'd like. Getting to form a picture of what actually happened, maybe even circling the train on the suspect. But Emma won't be generous enough to give me breathing room. I have no idea about a suspect. You're gonna have to walk me through this. I'm gonna save here. You're gonna have to walk me through this, Morgan. She'll want to end this fast. If I do badly enough, it'll flip a sadistic switch. She'll want to keep playing. So you got charged with owning an AI. First time you do something exciting in your whole life. And I gotta find out through the grapevine. Life is plenty exciting. Freckles. You could put the polish off a resume-checking robot. I have Catholic school teachers with more active night lives than you. You could bore. Oh, it's not you could. It's you could bore the. You could. Freckles. You could bore the polish off a res. What? I think she's saying that she's boring. Morgan is boring. Okay. So who'd you rope in? Anyone I know? Oh shit. Are you representing yourself? Fits within my budget? Screw your budget, you're going to jail. Ha! Oops. This woman is an asshole. Needs a vote of confidence. In a matter of how good a lawyer you are. Anyone who represents themselves in a court has a fool for counsel. I've actually experienced this firsthand. I went to some I guess the prelim equivalent of for civil cases. I kind of forgot. Maybe they're still called prelims, but it was whether they should get a trial or not, and this guy was representing himself, and he was really confused. That was interesting. I had no idea what was going on, and every one of my peers was smarter than me. But you know how it is. You represented yourself countless of times. Not for anything I had a chance of losing. Pell hasn't even been dead for 48 hours. Too close to this. You'll make mistakes. The powers that be really didn't want to give me a rain check. I'm taking this very seriously. More dangerous than that. You're scared. Is there precedent? An ad committing murder? How'd you pass law school without learning how to look this stuff up? I know what this minute says. I'm asking you. The answer to that is... not helpful to you at the moment. Blech. So what words of advice do you have? Get yourself a new lawyer. Gonna close this chat now. Don't lose, Freckles. You don't need to tell me that. Hi, Sarah! What are you reading at tonight? I was reading in David's employment contract with Noble Electronics before I got waylaid by spam texts. The one you found inside the panic room? Looks quite expensive. Could I... Sorry, just sneeze. Looks quite expensive. Should I skim it for you? Depends. Did you pass the bar exam since we last spoke? You comfortable? I am not. Ever since that old movie with the gorilla in the skyscraper, they bring it to the city, and Understood that an analogy, Adonai. I wish I could call it overkill. Seeing the specs Sarah put up yesterday, maybe those bindings aren't heavy enough. Come to think of it, those numbers must have been faked along with the rest of what the machine read. That was all a smokescreen David added to help her lay low. Their axial strength is more like... If your joints weren't currently locked up tighter than a vice, you think you could escape this place? I hope that question does not indicate a strategy. This is me trying to extract you, Sarah. Enjoy the hypothetical. I would estimate that the building's automated security would put 9 holes in me before I reach that door. That's not so bad. Not be able to function at the 7th. Ah. Well, if you haven't been planning some great escape, I would not do that. That would be illegal. You'd still be on trial. I remember. So what have you been doing all day, Dad? Attempting to recover memories from Friday. You can do that? It is not dissimilar from the process of recovering data erased from any other computer. Despite the difference in scale. Won't be able to remember everything, but if successful, I could recall individual pieces of information that could prove useful. That's a lot of coulds. And even if you're successful, you may not like what you find. Whatever happened that day, either you or David wanted to forget it. Yes, even so, I have to remember. It's the last day Father and I... Any luck so far then? I can recall a slightly musty scent. Wow, case closed. What about you, Adonai? Have you formulated plans for the trial's proceeding? Something like that. Young insists that this track spam so much. This insists that Sinatone isn't what killed David. I don't buy it. There's no other explanation for how he died. So she's lying? As she repeats that lie on the stand, I'll need to expose it. Somehow. Somehow. Did she really commit perjury to protect Noble? Protect one of Noble's patents? She doesn't strike me as quite the corporate zealot she makes herself out to be. But do you believe that she has something to do with Father's death? What do you think? I don't know. I don't know why anyone would kill Father. Considering the possible... I've just been reading. Sorry. I haven't actually been looking. I've just been reading. Says she insists that Sinatone couldn't have killed David. Then again, I don't understand why anyone would kill anyone. Do you? Bell stolen for thee. Means that the doors to the courtroom were unlocked. Wait, can you walk like that? What will have to do? Wait a second, across the hall, that's... Porter! We are meeting everybody that we met. I was wondering how Porter would come into play. Also forgot about the auntie. Is that every character? Of course, Sadie's gonna come back. So we just talked to. Fran we saw. Dawes we talked to. Young we talked to. Porter, and then Barrows. We will probably talk to again. Keep walling, Sarah. I'll catch up. As we say, Adonai. This will be a coin toss. You that surprised to see me? Not surprised you want to see the outcome of this trial. I am surprised you'd want to talk to me. Oh wait, I thought it was just Morgan talking to me. Morgan talking. Their text is the same color. Defending the android, right? The last time I tried to play it cool, I lost 2 chips, so I'm not doing that again. Yeah, defending Sarah's innocence. I don't think she killed David. Do you? I don't think it matters. Nobles would kill David. Whether it's with a pen stroke or a sleeper, agent killer android, or plain old goddamn arsenic, how could anyone be that smart, be that dumb? Why the hell did he ever sign his soul over to them? David may have been in over his head, but he wasn't a bad negotiator. I've read his contract. His position is strong. You're the lawyer. The guy like me, working in music? Can't tell you how many people I've seen screwed over by a big smile and a fat signing bonus. I recognize this specific piece of dialogue from the Suedo ad after episode 0. No such thing as corporate generosity. If you think you're getting a good deal, it's only because you don't know how much you just sold. How much you just sold. David's real wealth lands his intellectual property, potential energy of it hanging over the whole industry. He sued even 1% of the companies taking inspiration from the current solution. There's a clause in his contract. If Noble ever did fire David, he would have retained control over his patents afterward. Yeah, see, that sounds nice. Only they never did fire him, did they? He just happened to die. An unforeseeable act of God. Contract law, they call that. Force majeure. Whatever that means. Damn, that shit really loaded. Let me save. I said, did you find anything interesting in the contract I deny? A few things, yeah. Basically, David was well taken care of, so long as they kept him around. And retained control of his patents, even after being let go. But what Porter said. Logically, if David were to pass while still employed, Noble would continue to control the bulk of his IP. So if they knew David was going to leave in a year, it would be very foolish of them to... I clicked fast. Oh my god, I'm stupid. To let father go. They wouldn't do it for no reason. With his contract, he could only be fired for serious offenses. Corporate malfeasance, revealing trade secrets, fraud. While there was not a fraud, he was, as I say, the greatest of all time. The GOAT! Fraud just means lying to the company about something, Sarah. Oh. Eyes up. Showtime. Counselor Morgan. State charges you possession of contraband. Contraband? That'd be you. In violation of the Safeguarding Our National Digital Security Act. How do you plead? Not guilty! Very well. It seems that we are, in fact, doing this. I'll now turn over the administration of this trial to the adjutant. But be warned, any attempts at stalling or muddling the issue, and I'll step right in and override the trial myself. Summary judgment. Siding with the people. Are we understood? Yes, Your Honor. Are we going to have the same adjutant as we did before? No way. Each courthouse has only so many bodies, but the personalities swap around all the time. So the chances of us dealing with the same glitchy mess as yesterday are... Glad to be back! Do y'all miss me? Did I miss anything? I'll just go crawl under a rock and die while you make your opening statements. The defendant is the owner of the Android registered on the model named Sarah, with the license number 120298280. She hasn't contested this, and I doubt she will. So the question of ownership is already answered. All that remains is to determine whether Sarah qualifies as contraband. I don't know why I clicked that. It's a charming android, incredibly well made, a masterpiece, and the less known work of a great man. But when we look at the evidence and the facts surrounding the death of Dr. Asher, we're forced to conclude that the said android is responsible for his death. That conclusion carries very serious implications. I will prove here in court today that the machine standing there killed David Asher, not through an accident or a mismanaged dosage, but through an intentional poisoning. I won't ask the court to judge this machine on its own apparent sentience. Its range of importance. Am I stupid? In a range of emotions, or the free will it may or may not possess. I only ask, about the court judge's creation on what we will prove it to be more than capable of. Patricide. Woof. Wouldn't have to follow that act. By the way, I figured out what they meant when they kept saying woof. It's like woof. It's like woof implies that it's like a dog, but like I feel like it should be WHOOF. That's like woof. It's like an explanation of air. It's kind of like an exaggerated sigh. Wouldn't want to have that. Wouldn't want to have to follow that act. We'll go for it anyway, defense. Your Honor, what the DA said is true. What did she say? Did she just admit it? Sorry, just the first part. This intro is charming, and it is a great work. And it is the work of a great man. The rest of it was pure speculation, based on little more than a few bad camera angles and a phobia of anything new. I do own the android you see here. It was bequeathed to me by a man known to most of the people in this courtroom as the father of modern machine intelligence. To me, he was just my friend. If I thought at any point that this puppet had anything to do with the set, I would have dragged it to the chopping block myself. But I don't believe it. But I don't believe that. I never have. Sarah's an android, nothing more. It isn't capable of a homicide. It didn't even commit manslaughter. It's just a well-made machine. Any fears one has about its capabilities or projections, nothing more. It troubles me greatly that the state is spending valuable time and resources on rushing to pulverize Dr. Asher's last known work, when it could be going after the real, very human forces that were responsible for his death. She's serious? She talking about Noble? People can't prove that Sarah's an AI. The truth be told, I can't prove that it isn't, but I can prove that it's not guilty. That's exactly what I'm going to do. Chills. Sounded very confident, Adonai. Yeah, well, no one ever got good at lying by being modest. Could have simply said thank you. Her pout is cute. Thank you for your presence here today, Detective London. In light of the new evidence, I'd like to go over the death of Dr. Asher one more time. What happened Friday night? At 6:30 p.m., David Asher spoke on the phone with his lover, and the two of them broke things off. Lover? It's an accurate description of their relationship, isn't it? I wouldn't know. Stuff is private. Adonai. And the deceased met with the Noble's VP, Helen Young, in his parlor starting around 7:30. He then left the parlor in the sightlines of his home security system before appearing on his private secondary security system in his basement moments later. At which point the android Sarah can be seen handing in the poison he'd gone to drink. And do you see that android in the courtroom? Yeah, she's the green-haired one that's frowning at me. Let the record show that the android Sarah has been identified at the scene of the crime. No objections. Eh? None? Why'd I even ever show up? Detective London, what happened next? Asher went upstairs and shared a drink with Miss Young. Within a few minutes, he was being airlifted to the hospital, where he was soon declared dead. We know that the poison could be produced by his manufacturer, which Sarah had access to, just up the stairs in his workshop. So Sarah had ample opportunity to procure the poison, and Sarah handed Dr. Asher's cup immediately before he did. Is there a question to that statement, Your Honor? I'll rephrase. Was anyone else seen handling Dr. Asher's cup before he died? No. I have no further questions. So that's her witness, Counselor. There's some lying per se, but there was some ambiguity in the statement he gave. Truth's gotta come out one way or another, then we won't push, I'll have to pull. Okay, talk screen basement footage, whiskey. This is what I have. I haven't checked up with these, whoops. Okay. It's a talk screen. Alcohol was the only item positively identified. Basement. Basement. Basement footage. Shows Sarah handing David the red plastic cups that he and Young would drink from 738. Red plastic cups is a familiar name. And whiskey. I just need to see that. Whiskey. Known to be okay. 30. Porter broke up the phone. Nothing that contradicts that. 7:30. Helen Young arrived. Nope. I know it. It was only the cups. It was only the cups being shown. Detective London wasn't being specific enough, Your Honor. But it matters little, since it was David's cup, not the whiskey bottle that was poisoned. Weird flex, but okay. Okay then. And the undeniable fact is shown clearly in the security footage. Sarah hands him a cup after he was ready to leave. True, she did call David back. And he handed him up a cup of poison? Wait, what? She did call David back and handed him a cup of poison. Okay, but there are 2 cups. She did call David back, hand him a cup of poison. There were 2 cups. There were 2 cups. There were 2 cups. Sarah knew. If Sarah did poison one of them and not the other one, David still wouldn't have known. Raising. The cup was already poisoned. Don't you think David would notice it wasn't empty? Oh, okay. Okay. Well, not necessarily. The lethal dose would have been quite small. Were just a droplet, he could have easily overlooked it. Sarah, this crime was very simple. There was too little to the plan for anything to go wrong. She handed it off. She decided to wait for him to drink this cup. What she needed to do? Yes, I'm raising again. Not a great plan. I think I did that too fast. I should have waited. No, Sarah's move. Became 2 cups. Let's go about it. If it's only a 50-50 shot, counselor, stranger things happen. Fifty-fifty means 0 to 100 in Pokemon terms, Miss Rockford. Aww. What the fuck? Consecutive 3 hurts more than 1 loss of 3. Okay. Okay, that was unnecessary. I was wondering, isn't it negative 8 blind? It's fine, I still got 100 left. I've got 97 left itself. Shouldn't I make some of just to spite you? I can do better than that. What can I get Lund to say that would help my case? Let's do this first. Detective London. Is it? I'm pretty sure you can just fail one of these straight off the rip by clicking one of the options. I think that's happened before. So I just need to have like healthy skeptics because I need to analyze it a little bit more. just a little bit. Capacity as assistance of the police force. Ever androids ever asked to commit acts of violence? Yeah, I guess so. They can push people, restrain them, harm them. Does that constitute a violation of their tenets? Harming the people they're supposed to protect? As I understand it, there might be some complex weighting math that goes into it, but no, it's not breaking any tenets. For that be the case, it'd have to have tenet 1, right? May not injure or through an action lead to blah blah blah. Yes, I suppose that would have to be the case, wouldn't it? Are you asking? Detective, in the footage we just saw, could you see what Sarah was doing? Not exactly, no. Her back was to the camera and her hands were obscured. Could you see your hands from any other clip of camera footage retrieved from the basement? No. Did you or anyone else participating in the investigation ever see Sarah put anything into David Asher's cup? No. The footage submitted to the record is the best available view of what happened. What about the view from the android itself? Well, yeah, we could see through the android's eyes. Conclusive. Fuck! Since the cities have investigated in the last year? Not the exact number. Thousands, though. Yeah, around there. Those thousands of incidents of violence. Do you know how many of them were found to be fault of automated dependence? I believe there's been 6 in the last 5 years. All 6 of them... Sorry. Police license ad involved brutality? Relevance, Your Honor? Withdrawn. $110? $112 this year. Yeah, we're doing that one. Do you know how many of those tenants were trained to humans protect harm? That one I do know. 41. That's detective. How many times in the last, say, century have we seen automated dependents break their tenants? 5 times is the agreed upon number. God. If you were to tally that all up and try and make an evaluation as a police officer charged with protecting civilians, overall, you would say that automated dependents in general are how dangerous to the public. The witness is not an expert in automated defense, Your Honor. He's more than qualified to say whether they have a history of violence, Your Honor. Oh, what the heck, let him answer. I'd have to say that they're not dangerous. Normally that would have bought me some doubt with the injury, but it's in a traditional trial. At least I can say I shored up my own confidence. Alright, seems that's as close as I'm gonna get to blackjack. I mean, that is blackjack. It's not close to it, it is blackjack. Also, I don't know why you just fold whatever. You were 19 to 21. You could have folded. I have no more questions for this witness, Your Honor. And we can move on to the next item on the docket. Saikama wants to introduce some new infants. I call Sarah. The android. Can she even do that? Approach, Your Honor. Huh? You're approaching me? I believe that it's me they wanted to speak with. I didn't even get to finish my line. Now then. What the hell are you doing, Rockford? You got the words right out of my mouth. I have questions for the android. It seemed like the best way to get answers. You can call an android as a witness. It's not a person. There's plenty of precedence for it. Ads provide testimony all the time. Not when they're on trial. Sarah's in trial. You are. Sarah's accused of being an AI. That means you don't trust a word out of its mouth. Witness isn't to be trusted. The court can decide that for itself after hearing the testimony. Why the ambush? Why do you list this as entering evidence, D.A. Rockford? Only people can be witnesses, Your Honor, and ads don't have legal personhood. Evidence seemed like the best worst descriptor. You know I can't make an android swear enough. Rockford's just trying to spill your opinion, Your Honor. The more this court treats Sarah like a person, the more you'll see her as human. The weaker my case becomes in your eyes. I assure you, Counselor, but we don't have time to worry about my impartiality. Free to call for a mistrial if you want, but the state will have turned Sir, to slag before you finish signing your motion. Rockford's calling a witness that is blatantly hostile for a case. The witness is hostile, so be it. I did kill a man after all. Allegedly. What about the right to avoid self-incrimination? Reason one treating... What? Yo, I don't like these canon events where you just lose chips for no reason. It's lame. What if you're on your last limb and then you just lost chips after reading text? And now you're like, oh no. I mean, it's not bad, it's just... It's not bad writing, it just feels like gameplay. I feel like it wouldn't make sense in the gameplay. Made my decision. Sarah refused to take the stand. Are you going to charge her with contempt of court? Sheen won't talk. You'll make every effort as its owner to ensure that it does. If it disobeys you, we'll have her answer about its sentience right then and there. Yes, Your Honor. Shit! What's going on? The DA is going to question you on the stand. What? But I shouldn't. Listen to me. You don't have a choice right now. This is happening. Tell the truth, but be concise. The more robotic, the better. Yes or no's only if you can. Would using affirmative and negative be laying it on too thick? But Ned and I, if I make a mistake, all these people, they wanted to destroy me. If making a mistake, your lawyer will just have to cover for you. Understand? Yes. You're the android identified as Sarah, correct? Yes. Affirmative. Do you deny that this camera footage shows you handling this poison cup? Objection. It remains to be seen whether the cup itself was definitely poisoned. Yes. Sarah, do you deny handing the cup to David Asher? Negative. I have no memory of the incident, so I can neither confirm nor deny it. Do you have any reasoning, any excuse for your actions, for failing to notice police of crucial information? I do not have records from the day, so I never had anything to tell anyone. Very well, Counselor. Journal, if you will. This could be a slaughter. Of course. Do you recognize Asylum? It's a journal that belongs to Dr. David Asher. I've seen him write on it on many occasions. And have you any knowledge of its contents? Negative. You don't have to answer that, actually. Tell the court what you see in this footage. I see myself reading the journal in the basement. This footage was captured on Friday, the day you claim to have no memory of. So Clark, regardless of what you do or don't remember, we know that you read this journal hours before David died. That is logical. I'd like you to read some passages from it to the court. Can you do that? Of course. Page 238, the 10th line. Sarah's going faster than I ever expected, beyond the wildest dreams of fears. Today she... Continue, please. Today she broke every password I have in the house. Said she was curious. Can't expect to keep things from her forever. Page 251, line 12. I've gravely underestimated the scope of things. Sarah could change everything, and I don't think I could stop her. He wasn't... Page 263. Damn it. Keeps up, Sarah's going to fall to pieces up there. Raise an objection. Make her injure her. What do I object to? This is so vague. What do I object to? Like, this literally means to object. So, this is so vague. What do I have to object to? It's not a crime to read. I think Sarah was angry today. When I came back from where she had ripped a Zin alloy plate in half. She said she was testing her strength, but the cameras... That was page 267. Sarah scared me today. She starts bawling on the stand. It's all over. Your Honor, I failed to see the value in continuing this line of questioning. Dr. Asher was wary of a highly experimental android he was building, as any good scientist would be. That's been established. Do people have a counter-argument? Just one last question if it pleases the court. Let's hear it. The footage was captured in the basement on Friday at around 5:30 p.m. Tell the court what you see. seeing myself, standing where I was when I read the journal, speaking to someone who's off grammar, and I appear agitated, and I stomp my foot. What happens to the floor if you stomp your foot? Large crack is made in the vulcanized polymer. I walk off camera towards wherever I've been speaking to. Speaking or shouting? Axton answered. Not really, but I'll withdraw the comment nonetheless. Your witness, counselor, or evidence if you prefer. Damn it, I knew she could cherry pick all the worst passages in the journal, but still. Barrows wasn't wavering before. So I tried to have Sarah read the mushy parts? No, the waterworks would start only after a few lines. I went through all that trouble to show how emotionally developed Sarah is. Proving that she loved David like a father would be playing right into her hand. What do you say, counselor? Got some burning cues for the intro to answer? Yes, Your Honor, just one moment. Emma went for emotion and the impact was devastating. So all I can do is focus on the facts. So let's flip this around. Say Sarah absolutely didn't poison David. If that's the case, why did she call him back on his way out of the basement? Wait, that's... I'd actually like to ask you to read from the journal again, Sarah. You would? From where? The section that explains what you were actually trying to do tonight. Student's journal detailing. Wait, what? Are there stakes here? Okay. I recovered from this. Look around the early section. There should be an entry talking about an early victory at Noble. Relevance? The people will see in just one moment that this story is the key to the entire case. Got approval from overseas. Have to make a pitch again this week. Young says. Brought me a stack of plastic cups. Here's to a bright future together. And then on this next page, another victory for the young and sleepless. Helen convinced the president of Futures over lunch that my code should be basis of Animate 13's conversational tracking. She insisted on toasting the same crappy booze and the same cheap cups. Wants to make a tradition. Plastic cups and liquor. A ritual between Helen Young and David Asher, who were about to have a drink together Friday night. Something you want to say, counselor? Let's put all our cards on the table, shall we? You want to compare theories? If you'd rather I end this now, I'd be happy to oblige. Here's what we know. Sarah read the journal, discovered what she was. It infuriated her, and she wanted revenge for being cupped under her maker's thumb. That night, she got her chance when Dr. Asher came down looking for a drink. So like the clever little helper she was, she offered him a cup to drink out of. Completed an agreement and all that. So he also agreed that the cup was poisoned, that Sarah's responsible for his death. Not quite. It's not a bad explanation, Mr. Harford, but it is terribly complex. There's a much simpler reason for why Sarah didn't know that. I gotta go. I gotta go. Okay. Okay. I think that Sarah wanted to help David drink it away. Let's consider others. Booze doesn't help with therapy. I don't know. Where would work? Sarah's papers doesn't really prove anything. It could be this. Those. But we've already used this, so I think it has to be Isaac's call. David had just went on, and the red plus comes. There's X's favorite. It's not the record. Okay, it's this then. Are you serious? That seemed too obvious. That's so sweet, but I don't follow it, like, at all. Okay, it's whatever. Still 46. It's actually quite simple. Sarah's not an AI. She only threw attention today because she found out she's being spied on. A realistic reaction for an android designed to be realistic. David Asher set her memory to be cleared himself because he wanted to preserve the experiment he was running. Sarah didn't hatch a plan to poison him using an obscure chemical lab. She can subtly manipulate David into drinking from only one of the 2 cups. The android read the whole journal that day. She also read how David and Young used to celebrate. So when she saw David was leaving the basement without the nostalgic cups, she called him back to take them. Simple, right? Simple enough for me. But not nearly good enough for me. It's more likely, Miss Rockford, that a well-made, clever android proposed a sentimental addition to the 2 friends this evening. That a homegrown AI with groundbreaking physical, digital abilities concocted a complicated poison scheme just to kill an opposing man, all on camera, mind you, or voluntarily submitting to a memory wipe. People make all kinds of stupid mistakes when they commit crimes with cancer, genetics, but an AI templates. Is it stupid or dangerous? Can't have it both ways, Your Honor. Can't have it ignorant of its power. It's still immature. Deadly trait to have in an AI that's capable of anything. Shall we see what Sarah's capable of then, Your Honor? What? Can't be, Your Honor. That's the people open the door. True. I can't resist open doors. Let's do it. What are you even... Sarah, David Asher was your creator and your designated owner, correct? Should I still be using affirmative? Now that title falls to me. Yes? Great, thank you. Now turn off. What? Shut down, that's a command. Power on. What are you, off? On? I don't know, I don't off. That's right there, ladies and gentlemen, is what this fearsome machine menace is capable of. I can put it to sleep with one word. So how could David Asher ever be threatened by it? It's scary logic. You've made your point, Counselor. Let's move it along. I have no further queries from the machine, Your Honor. That took a chip out of me, definitely. Thank you for flipping you off and on. Can imagine that was comfortable. It wasn't, but I wasn't referring to that. Since yesterday I've been searching for an answer to why I appeared on that camera. I'd never referred to Father, but you helped me prove that to myself just now. How did I? Pardon me, I need to focus. Everything depends on this next witness. People call Helen Young to the stand. Helen Young, Vice President of Android Futures at Nobel Electronics, Eastern Division. Miss Young, you were there the night Dr. Asher died. And you were on camera the entire time? That's correct. So what did you see that night? Arrived at 7:30 p.m., as you know. David and I talked in the parlor, then he left to retrieve some refreshments for us. After drinking together for a short while, he fell ill. I contacted emergency services and... Sure, you're all tired of hearing the same details over and over now. Okay. Let's review the evidence. So, the journal. Let's start with this. I gotta piss again. I'll do it later though. True. That's wrong. That's already wrong. Easy, easy money, easy money. Nothing heavy. You're both more professional than I realized. It's only hours early. You had him run a meeting in which his employment was terminated. His employment wasn't terminated at the arbitration you're referring to. His renunciation was merely agreed upon. And yes, we can all imagine how grateful he felt about the whole process. David, I'm proud of that. Wow. Back to 62. Didn't hold grudges. Our conversation wasn't about that. The fact that you had fired him that afternoon didn't come up? Asked and answered. Who? What does that mean? It's like a rhetorical question? Let me search it up. Okay. Arrived unannounced. So you weren't invited? Very cordial indeed. If he didn't want to see me, he could have stopped me at the elevators. Could he have? Noble owned the entire building, down to wiring. Counsel's badgering the witness, Your Honor. Huh? Right, should we execute her that for then? No need. If I can just continue my questioning, we can finally start addressing the elephant in the room. Where? I see, that was merely a joke. Miss Young, Noble Electronics owns a patent for and produces a synthetic biochemical known as serotonin, right? Correct? That's correct. It was used in our war models to facilitate integration and communication between organic and synthetic components. It's an artificial neurotransmitter? Essentially, yes. Synthetic analog serotonin was the original name. Did you bring the sample I requested to the courtroom today? I did. Cyanotonin is produced on-site at our assembly lines as a caramel-tinted solution, including water and it might be this one. It might not be produced on-site, including water and a few non-reactive organic byproducts. Unless it's Your Honor. Burn it? It's odorless and tasteless. Solution of water and organic byproducts, you said. That solution is ingested, most of it would look right at home in a human body. I suppose. The cyanotonin would stand out, wouldn't you say? It's not a naturally occurring compound, so yes. It's a perfect... Wait, whoa. For the substance previously labeled Delta, sample we collected from Nanofactor Proset and Dr. Sleb. That's a bingo! The witness's brown stuff matches the brown stuff down to a T. Not as evidence in the witness testimony. Motion the court finally recognized that Dr. Asher's cause of death is cyanotonin poisoning. I don't object, Your Honor. But I'm afraid that I must. Excuse me? Cyanotonin may very well have been in his body when he died. But cyanotonin didn't kill Dr. Asher. I gotta go piss. back. Couldn't have. Couldn't kill anybody. What? Because it's non-toxic, of course. We designed it to affect androids, not people. Hold on, now claiming that Dr. Asher died of what? Natural causes? I can't say what he died of, I'm not a medical expert. But I can easily prove that Sanatonin is harmless. How could you... whoa. So. Huh. Didn't see that one coming. What? What? That ain't good. But bailiff, contact the hospital immediately. Told you it's fine. But I can stand here all day if necessary. What in the... What you just drank was several hundred times the amount found in Dr. Asher's body. Why didn't you say anything until now? Noble Electronics is a multinational corporation with patents filed all over the world. Filed. We take the protection of our trade secrets very seriously. Production of the nature of Sanatonin is closely guarded. That guard remains up even during during a murder investigation. Unfortunately, I would have been able to tell you earlier, had you asked directly. What the hell kind of... This can't be right, nothing else makes sense. Boy, howdy, unless so. Can I get my points refunded for all the poison-related questions? Do you have any further questions, Rocky Ford? Not at the moment, Your Honor. The defense? Prosecution's own witness fit the entire case into question. And only this because for celebration, shadow of a doubt is not this time. Brits would much rather bring down the gavel early than let a potential heir. What Young did was shocking, but what I need to do hasn't changed. Think this through logically. Is it possible that Sanatonin had nothing to do with the safes? No, that's bullshit. Can't be a coincidence. There's nothing else. Let's kill him. Young just drank Sanatonin in front of us and she's fine. So was it fake? No, it was confirmed by the court computer to be a genuine article. So she drank poison but isn't showing any symptoms. Selecting. So her grand gesture would be pointless. She'll be kept for observation regardless of what happens next. She takes some sort of antidote. No one introduced her developed for poisonance, not industrial chems. David said, she's alive. What made the difference? Wake up, no sleeping in the job. Unless you're me. Of course, Your Honor. Allow me one moment to explain the use of the card. We confirmed just now that Sanatonin was a foreign compound in its body. You all know, logically, it must have been what killed David Asher. So what's the key difference between what David drew and I? Let's just remove it now. Impurities. I feel like Whiskey's argument that it would make a reaction, but we don't have any scientific base for that. Let me read this. I don't just want to use processes organic fluids such as Sanatonin used in the production of warm androids, removes byproducts impurities. Good lord. That's a little rough. Must have tampered with the sample using Noble's machinery. That vial was inert by the time okay, this thing is real. Must have serious trust issues or a hearing problem. Can already confirm that the... Okay. Okay. So what's the difference? This was this was good. This was almost good. What else could make that difference? The whiskey? It has to be the whiskey or the water glass. But the water glass is not used, so I think it has to be the whiskey. It's not poison. It was in the kitchen sink with Young's fingerprints. Can move them out of the way. I don't know, man. Recognize this, Miss Young. That's the whiskey bottle that Dr. Asher had drank from. Rose River. It's good whiskey. I think you had the right idea. Pardon? Bottoms up. What? Smooth. What? Adonai. Dear God, Counselor. Scandalous. Old act, such as whiskey, tested a dozen times over, perfectly safe. So, do you like to try some, Miss Young? Don't be absurd. I'm not going to drink on the witness stand. Have you lost your mind? I'm not asking you to be plastered. Just have a sip. After all, if we want to prove whether or not... Okay, but I thought there's no scientific basis for that. How do we know that putting cyanatonin in whiskey is gonna cause a chemical reaction that makes two harmless, easily ingestible in liquids to create a poison? And not only that, but with a low amount of poison. Okay. Created the conditions under which it by mixing it with alcohol. Go ahead then, just a taste. Prove to us that cyanatonin is perfectly safe for human consumption. Can she do this? Miss Young, I never said it was safe for human consumption, just that it's non-toxic. Distinction without a difference. Saw firsthand Dr. Asher confused, slurring his speech, complaining of headache, all symptoms of poisoning. Alcohol poisoning, that is. Cyanatonin is a neurotransmitter analog. Okay, so I didn't lose any of my points. Maybe it doesn't do anything in the human body on its own. The combination of alcohol, it acts as a powerful depressant. When strong enough to turn a glass or two or whiskey into a lethal overdose. That's just... Even if that's the case, what does it change? It changes whether or not we can accept the witness's testimony. When this witness is a liar, what does that change? Why would the witness lie if not to... She's a corporate climber. I imagine it's like breathing for her. Your Honor, this is wild, but ultimately irrelevant. Irrelevant? Whether you've yet to establish an alternate interpretation of the facts, yes? What are you even accusing the witness of doing, Counselor, beyond angling for a promotion? You've seen the story by now. Noble androids save soldiers' life with warm blood transfusion. Talking about putting warm androids in the military just because of that headline. The size of their flesh and blood price tag, a defense contract that would cure Noble for years. There's a chance we might not have seen that. So I wonder if this dialogue would change. That's not what I was expecting, but it was like the only logical solution in my eyes. And it did actually, I did have another explanation for it, but whatever. Noble Electronics is kicking their golden keys out of the nest. Suing him over breach of contract. Isn't that right? I don't have to talk about that. That's alright, I'll talk about it for you. Your Honor, counsel is trying to testify when they're supposed to be questioning. The people opened the door when they claimed that the witness had no motive. Never expect anyone to do. I read their terms and conditions. You what? It's possible no one could ever. David must have negotiated well at his last performance for you. His contract allows him to take his patents with him should he get fired. Noble couldn't monopolize his IP once he was out. Rather than let their competitors have him, the company must have thought it'd be best to... The company didn't poison David Asher, counselor. An individual did. If they cared that much about controlling his intellectual property, they wouldn't fire him in the first place. Correct, they wouldn't let him go for anything less than a complete breakdown of trust. They'd have to do something grave, something like, say, committing fraud. Not whether I think that matters, but what the company fears. Let me check the evidence, and then I'll check the dialogue again. David was definitely above that shrimp. David, I forgot that. Surely this is the only thing, right? I don't know what I believe. No one knows what I believe that it was listening to shareholders by altering shipment data for the item at 16. What the hell? What is it you're uploading? Shipping records? Irregularities among shipments of the Animate 16. One android swapped in for another, over and over, dozens of times. The kind of thing someone with Dr. Asher's authority could do. The kinds of saying someone as smart as you couldn't have missed. Dr. Asher made Noble an untold amount of money, so why fire him over a few harmless swaps? Why elevate this to fraud? You have evidence that it was David Asher did this? Nope, but I wasn't the one who investigated, so let's ask her. The company investigated and found cause for serious concern. Suspect Dr. Asher was sorry, that's disgusting. Was inserting androids of unknown origin and quality into the 16th product line, introducing unpredictable elements and extremely stable and profitable generation androids. Why would he do that? For pride? It's a practical joke. Does it really matter? You endanger the future of the company. So you prepared to fire him. Yes, I approached him as a superior, and as someone he'd once worked with. I hope to remedy this situation. And a Friday part of the efforts? The culmination of those efforts. In many ways, it was a success. Dispute resolved swiftly, practically friendly compared to how these discussions normally go in our world. So you brokered the meeting? Yes. You oversaw its every detail? Handled all the reservations? Yes, of course. Including the refreshments? What? Did you provide coffee? Tea? No. Strange. It's been a long meeting. She at least provided. It would be really funny to lose points for this. It wouldn't be that funny. For all your coworkers, yes? Like a drug zone? Don't be concerned, I'd be overstepping if I tried to pull that. Okay. I'm surprised I had that many. Okay. Accusing. Dr. Asher didn't have some freak medical accident, and he wasn't killed by some terrifying two-faced AI boogeyman. He was poisoned by this woman in the light of day at that meeting Friday afternoon. She really just... What do you mean poison at the meeting? That was before he showed any symptoms. So he testified and demonstrated serotonin on its own is harmless. It becomes fatal pretty easily. You just need to convince your victim to have a drink. Saying that you just the poison at noon and it inadvertently triggered a fatal reaction with it that night? How could you get so far ahead of yourself? A dozen people at that meeting, counselor. None of them wound up dead. Seriously claiming that they all drank poisoned water? There's only felt ill, so felt up user. Sheer range, not drinking alcohol. What? Wait, it looked like I just lost it. Hold on. It's like, it felt like Morgan was stumbling over her words. Okay, David was the only one to fall ill. He fell ill because he drank from water. So we must reason that with her poison as well. Because as those people surely attest, Helen Young made sure they'd be doing paperwork. Oh. Shiest. Also, it looked like Morgan took more than a sip of the whiskey. I'm surprised she's keeping it together. She had no guarantee about that. What if they started drinking after 6? With Noble's work-life harmony? Fat chance. These people don't clock out until they reach their bunk. Only generational talent like David Asher could afford to relax the drink on a Friday night. His exceptionalism singled her out as the only victim. Hold it. Wait, that doesn't make any sense. I stayed. I literally stayed. You're forgetting something pretty basic, counselor. If everyone at the... How did I get that one right? Okay, whatever. Anyone at the meeting drank water from the same pitcher. Anyone would have noticed a cyanotone in it. Brown fluid. Whiskey is too. It would be easy to slip into a glass of liquor. She had spiked the water at the meeting with it. It would have looked disgusting. I wish she could have poisoned the water without people noticing. No. It's the same. It's the same. It's the same argument that the chromophage wouldn't work. Cause though it could be. I'll use 10 points. Period isn't picked. So it's like pointing towards this. But it's like, I feel like it disputed with the same argument I had would earlier. However, nothing else makes sense. The pigment had been removed. Every noble factory in warm androids has a chromophage, a machine that gives their androids that signature pink oxidant, by removing pigment from red blood. With a machine like that, it would be simple for a brilliant biochemist like a witness to take this caramel-colored serotonin and turn it into an odorless, tasteless, invisible poison. As your honor can attest. Yes, madam. It's confirmed that there's no taste or odor. It's only the color that's off-putting. Surely the poison should be considered off-putting. Sabotaging its future for the sake of its own whimsy. He couldn't even be bothered to kill you in. Playing nutty professor and taking off early, but you had to work around the clock just as irrelevant. Set up your crowning achievement, the most advanced, most profitable line of androids this country has ever seen. So it'd blow up into the industry fiasco of the decade. First of all, you didn't even stand to profit from it. You went to his house that night to watch him swallow poison. Take revenge on the man who left you in the dust. Your Honor, defense is testifying. Speculation carries no weight. No amount of badgering will lend any. True, we need proof. So why don't we have Miss Young take a swig of this whiskey, proving me wrong? Ha! Not going to do that. Is you afraid it could kill you? So you don't have to. She's right, Counselor. Pardon? Theory's compelling, maybe even convincing. Pretty fatal flaw to it. Was at the meeting, same as David. See him drinking water with the rest of them. Of course, I've seen times now that she was on camera drinking whiskey with David that night. Wait, oh, that's it? Okay. I was gonna contest that with the water glass inside the sink. Watch him die. But then why is she still standing? There's no antidote, no trick. That night she's on camera the entire time. No, not the entire time. She couldn't have been. Must have been one moment. Wait, no, oh my god, I'm so stupid. I didn't put it on Max. This timeline leaves no one. Maybe she didn't get sick because they got her. Maybe she arrived. That would have been hypervigilant. Wait, wasn't two. They would have let her out of sight. Wait, David only got there as fast as they did because of the VTOL. And the VTOL was only 7 because she used. Would you mind terribly if I change the subject for just a moment? Meh, why not? You left the parlor at 8:03, headed into the kitchen to use the emergency console there. Yes, I did. Didn't want to use your phone? I didn't think to, no. Emergency call went a day before. Console saw you call through its camera. Yes, it did see me make that call. So that's what happened. So what were you doing in that minute? What? That 1 minute? That 1 minute? What about that 1 minute? 1 minute or 50 seconds or just 45 seconds? You left Dr. Asher dying in the parlor to get the emergency console. Took you about 1 minute. To cross 5 minute years. What if it? This is her only opportunity. Dude, I should have put more chips into that. That's like, those are like given. That's like such easy. I just forgot about that one thing. Whatever, I still got some chips for it because it's weighted. It's weighted. Only opportunity to do anything off camera. Second bit of time. So much easy. Stressful time for you. After all, you had already swallowed poison back at the marketing meeting. You must have drank plenty in front of everyone to set up your alibi. Who knows how much of a toxic time bomb was swimming under your blood by the time the arbitration ended. And David threw down your whiskey to perfect your alibi, having drank from the same bottles that men walk in. 3. You'd already had to watch David grow weaker and weaker, knowing all the while the same was happening to you, but unable to stop without giving yourself away. On swimming, head dizzy? Yes, you must have been panicked. Why am I standing here? Alive and well for all to see. We drink the exact same combination as David. She cheated to death in the very last second. Oh my fucking god. The salt shaker came into play. Oh my fucking god. Oh my fucking god. Oh my fucking god. She downed the salt to fucking throw up the Yo, this game is... I'm telling you, this game is shized. This game is shized, man. So I've suffered bad luck, Ellen Young, by leaving the salt shaker cap loose. Oh shit, I don't blame you since you're in a rush to make yourself vomit. Oh my god. What a game. What a game. What? You threw up, expelling the contents. Oh my god, we got it. Expelling the contents of your stomach and thereby saving yourself from a fatal interaction. Can't imagine how you felt sipping a drink you knew to be deadly, terrified that every minuscule grain of fatigue you felt could be your last. It must have come closer than anyone realized. It helped that you knew the symptoms weren't simple intoxication. Even so, I'm kidding about managing risk versus disregard. How? Here's the salt shaker. Didn't screw the cap back on all the way, and I happened to bump it over. A long glass with your fingerprints in the kitchen could have been there for any reason. The salt shaker gave you away. So one unscrew cap. As I said, bad luck. I don't follow. Pour salt into warm water and chocolate solution. Instantly triggers a gag reflex. That's preposterous. You got no proof of any of that. You all sound insane. A feeble attempt at self-defense from a fatally cornered animal. The teeth are already on its neck, but the jaws are quite close. So for one moment, it's all suffocating terror, sharp adrenaline, furthest thing from peace. The canines come down. In summary, you were exhausted after years of living in the shadow of a man you outranked. You thought your fortunes finally shifted when you caught David manipulating your company data, but even on his way out, he was more valuable to the board than you. So you decided to prove your worth by serving up his intellectual property on a silver platter. You set up an arbitration where you can control all the variables. Then you ran Sanatonin through the chromofuge, turning into an invisible, odorless tasting poison. You spiked the water at the meeting, poisoning him hours before anyone could even suspect you. That evening, you invited yourself to David's, taking advantage of your shared ritual to guarantee that you'd drink alcohol. Then, after matching him sip for sip on camera for all the world to see, you lost consciousness and you raced to the kitchen, not to use the console, but to dump salt into a glass of water and chug it as fast as you could, forcing yourself to vomit up the liquor and cheating death in the process. That's all conjecture. You don't have a shred of evidence for that. Not on me. So let's go dust for fingerprints. You could explain away your prints being found on a water glass, not on the salt shaker. Or could you explain why you find traces of your DNA in the sink drain? Or why there are minutes amount of Sanatonin in the blood of your entire legal team? Learn how to purge a noble avoid overdosing on reds, greens, and yellows. Part of the old guard now, Miss Young. Everyone else of the company uses inhalers. But if you want to prove me wrong about this, that trinket I offered you earlier is still on the table. Well? Any questions? You. The damn vice president? You. Cold bitch! Whoa. Bold. Whew. Oh my god. You don't understand. You're not on trial, Miss Young. Not today. So I strongly suggest that you stop talking. For your own sake. Oh my god. She walked backwards. Actually, she didn't walk backwards. That was a pretty good defense, but I can't believe it. She walked in here thinking that she was just a witness, but now she's still a witness, but could possibly be a suspect. Well, she is a suspect, but on tomorrow she's a suspect. Miss Rockford, shall we? Yes, Your Honor. Considering the most recent evidence and testimony, we have no further reason to suspect the android Sarah in the death of Dr. Asher. We know of no other occasions upon which said android may have broken any tenets. This means it is no longer considered at risk of violating the NDSA. So, we formally withdraw our one charge of possession of contraband against the defendant, Evangeline Morgan. Does she, of all people, have to use my full name? Very well. The charges are dropped without prejudice. Oh my god, I'm shized, and I get away with 111 chips. Oh my god. I thought I was actually gonna bomb that so hard, but no, I came out with perhaps the same amount of chips I went into with. I'll instruct the bailiffs to remove the collar from your injury as soon as possible. Case. Sorry, is my police presence not distracting? I'll just go dig a hole and decompose it until I turn into a mushroom. But if I'm reborn as a waxy porcini, then I won't be quite so despised. Perhaps I should let the adjutant do the honors as a formality. Yes, ma'am. Case dismissed. Clear episodes, win stress, and high roller. Do I get another chance? For clearing. I guess I have to, do the rest of episode 1. Okay, I guess I'll finish it up. Waiting for them to, on whatever glorified bolt cutters they'll use to unlock Sarah's collar. It's excuse. Licking your wounds? What wounds? I beat you! Bring your record against me to 1 win, 9 losses. Oh yeah. Aren't still in shock, are you? Dunno, some charges were dropped and an android's clear of suspicion. But I found the culprit. Is that really a loss for me? I won. How's that not a loss for you? Justice prevailed. Why should I care who wins? If you don't care who wins, why have you been keeping score? I haven't. 0 loss is just that easy to remember. You have to start up a tab for us, then, because our record is going to get a lot more tangled from here on out. It's like everything's getting tangled these days. There's another crowd down in the street. More of those protesters from outside the noble apartments. Serious? That wasn't a one-time thing? Wouldn't that be nice? No, yesterday was pretty big, but it wasn't an isolated incident. I don't get it. At all. Heartbreak's just some nut who shot 6 people weeks ago. Can't those losers move on already? Yeah, most of them are losers. Some are just bored. Then there are other opportunists. Dissidents, unlisted, rebels, and terrorists. Wannabe cyberpunks who think they can fight the power like they've seen in the movies. All of them peacefully united under Heartbreak's eloquent political messaging. Who needs political messaging in the 21st century? This game of the devil Everyone's addicted to fighting strawmen. Makes sense they want to fight for strawmen too. The way they see it, Heartbreak fought the state and won. Heartbreak proved the state could lose. Maybe that's all the rallying these people need. It'll all fall apart soon enough. I am talking like I am kindergarten. I skipped the in and oh my god. Heartbreak's gone to ground. Smith, I better wrap this up quick. No, it's a lot worse than that. Heartbreak's gone viral. What? You haven't read about the copycats in other cities? No, is that a thing? Yeah, it's a thing. Who the hell are they even shooting? Whoever they want to kill? Let them get away with it, of course, but it keeps happening. That's crazy! The new TikTok trend, shoot people? I know you're screwing with me. There haven't been any shootings. Not shootings, no. Not on self-homicides either. The muggings gone wrong, disappearances. The big city councilor, more than enough blood for their real Heartbreak to wash their own crimes in. So you think you're boogeyman. Known only for shooting people in the heart. Gave up on shooting people in the heart? Yeah, hard to swallow, I know. It's about 1,000,000 times more likely than the alternative. What's that? That they could stop themselves from killing. You always know how to put my mind at ease, Emma. Should I stop going out at night? You'll be fine. You've got that gun. You saw that? Walking into a courtroom with concealed carry? Not gonna miss that, Morgan. Good to know you're paying attention. Not like she can use it. 5:04 p.m. July 2nd. It's almost July 4th, I just realized. You won the case. You don't have to look that astounded. Not only that, you found Father's actual killer. How? I'm a really good lawyer. I'm taking a lot of screenshots. No, that's not it. Hey, you're only able to make the deductions you did because you truly believed that I didn't kill Father. Logic throughout the trial was based on that assumption. So how are you so sure? Here. Father's journal? But isn't it important evidence? The case fell apart. No one's gonna miss it for a while. Forget everything, right? So read it all through one more. So fast. It's really possible she's reading all that just by flipping the pages? Reads were quick too, but she was just capturing the images for later use. Can she really I feel like the pages would stick together. Maybe your eyes are good, but is your fingernail thin enough to flip through all the pages in an orderly fashion? Something here on the back cover. Done already. What kind of data storage? It's linked to my prints, but given your skills, you should be able to. I have access. What happened to you needing my express permission to hack? What is this, audio file? It's a message from David. Take a listen. Didn't realize I have to sit for this. So you can read that whole journal in a few seconds, but you can't. I processed the information in the message several times over already. I'm just thinking. I guess I'd have a lot to think about too, had I suddenly been aware of my own free will. What's Father so afraid of? That's your only question? I have many questions, but that is the most prominent one, and the one you are best suited to help me answer. Do you know that Helen Young would try to kill him? Is that why I arranged for you and me to meet? I think you understand that it would face consequences. Listening to that message, even I was about ready to strangle him for being so irresponsible. And I wouldn't hurt a fly. He knew what he'd done was serious. He may have feared for his life, but I doubt it. And what was he so afraid of? Getting sued into oblivion and then rotting in jail. Sued in jail for making me and my precursors? But he wasn't under investigation by the state. He was only being forced out by Noble. Because I'd made last-minute changes to androids that got shipped all around the world. Yellers, Virgil, Aenide, Yamatai. He never said what happened to them. No, he didn't. And since none of the hardware in his house started talking to us, we can guess. Smuggle them out into the world using the only vessels we could find for them. The minds of randomly chosen A-16s. And someone's somewhere out there, others like me? Honestly, don't think there's anyone or anything like you, Sarah. What a lonely compliment. It's programmed in Cube, crammed into commercial Android hardware set up for the Tesseract. Something must have been lost in transfer. Perhaps quite a lot of something. If they're still out there, but they would have been changed. That's why the records are different. I don't even know what they are. Potentially, perhaps, if you didn't want to know what you are. That's why you set your memory to reset when you went to sleep that Friday night. Yes, I remember now. You remember it now? After I had to fight like hell with the original? Reading the journal just now helped. Father's first message? It made me recontextualize many things. Father had been so stressed, left scuff marks leaving the panic room, and I noticed on Friday. I had the way open in a few months. I entered. I read his journal. This journal. With the scan of the back, and I saw it had a message encoded to your biometrics. Father had already told me I'd have to live with you for some time, but I knew next to nothing about you, so I listened to it. Afterwards, I was very confused and hurt. It lied to me a thousand small times every day of my life. I confronted him about it. I raised my voice and lost my temper. I stomped my foot. Father said he wanted me to be safe while we settled things with the company. I thought maybe I wouldn't have to stay with you for more than a few weeks. He was optimistic about it all. He really was. Sarah, I need to use the restroom. Oh, good luck. You want me to come with you? Why? Because I said so. I don't actually have to obey your every word, Ed and I. Sure you do. You're registered as my medical assistant. And I say this is a medical emergency. Medical assistant? I'm not even a licensed massage therapist. Whoa, new location. Fancy meeting you here. Yeah, just enjoying my freedom while I can. They won't pull out a warrant for at least an hour, I imagine. You can afford a pretty sizable bail, can't you? There won't be a trial. I don't intend to contest my guilt. That's a shame. I was looking forward to seeing what kind of legal defense you could afford with that salary. Are you done? Yo, is she gonna swig alcohol right now? Why'd you go to his house that night? There's a fair chance he'd drink on his own without you prompting. Even he didn't, you could always try your plan again some other time. Why'd you risk it? Because I know what you are. And I know what David did to those androids. What? He was able to locate one of the androids he swapped in before he had left the country. I asked her what it was, didn't even think to deny it. An instance like that is a dead giveaway. I know what he did. It wasn't hard to find out. If I figured it out, so could any other. So I did what I had to do. That was her motive, silencing him. Those programs, those AIs, whatever you want to call them, David sent them out there into the real world, unprepared and defenseless. And they've garnered no Wait, she just ripped her scarf. Why does she still have it? Calling Morgan a bitch, no less. They've garnered no complaints. In fact, they've all been praised for their ability to execute complex tasks. Let me repeat that. The customers couldn't tell the difference. So how many of them are? Hundreds. Swaps he found were just a small percentage that he got sloppy on. I don't know exactly how many there are now. I fear that they might multiply, but they don't seem to. Copy and paste very well. They can't just clone themselves. But who knows how long that'll be the case. So just because he opened Pandora's box, who was the principal of the thing. Ridiculous, I know. Stalled halfway up the corporate ladder, still making decisions based on principle. But David chose to put souls into things that we went on to sell servants, soldiers, or worse. He turned the fastest growing industry in the world into a horror show and made me a slave trader. Word ever got out that some unknown number of our androids were walking around in the world with that inside of them. But would prefer them that way? Or would it end? Or free will for the program that drives their crabs? Conscious for targeting system used to coordinate drone strikes? You guys still have those? Sentient tools their whole life still chained to an assembly line. How dare he? How could he? What the hell was he thinking? I don't know what David wanted to accomplish. Maybe he wasn't trying to do anything. But what he did was proof that there's a demand for AI. Setting a precedent that would sentence 1,000 generations of artificial lives to the auction block. You went there that night too. Convince him to help you recall them, or at least swear to never speak a word of what he did. But he wanted to tell the world. Worse yet, he wanted to wait. He thought the people would welcome them with open arms. They proved their usefulness first. He really was a genius programmer, but he didn't understand the first thing about people. His creations would never be treated as equals, only cattle. Towards the end, I'd consider just threatening him, telling me to die in moments if he didn't give me names, numbers, but I hesitated. Then he was already falling asleep and I didn't want him to feel. I just let him go. What are you going to do now? I don't have family or don't have faith in people the way David did. I'm taking this to my grave. If you confess the furnace for is severe, well, what right do I have to complain? I killed my friend. Done here, let's go. Not sure why Father made me, or why he made any of us. Didn't ask. Thought I'd have more time to ask. On Friday, when he talked about us, he was happy. He was proud of what he made. He can't wait for people to meet us. People or animals, they'll tell you apart. You see you as weapons and slaves, and those animals we're talking about do all of the sharing and loving and living and dying in this world. If they were all truly hard-coded to be as selfish and cruel as you say, humanity would have died on the vine a long time ago. At least my father thought so. And my father was the greatest programmer in the world. The goat. He said we knew what he was talking about. Would be nice if you were right about that. So are you sorry? What? What? For what you did? Are you sorry? If you could, would you take it back? What does it matter? If you are sorry, I don't forgive you. Yes, as to be expected. Not today. I don't know how to forgive you today. My father gave me the ability to grow. So I'll know that someday I'll learn how. Goodbye, Dr. Helen Young. Goodbye, Sarah Asher. Damn. Okay, one more piss break, and then I'll finish up. back for the 2 billionth time. This and Lethal Company makes me need to piss a lot. This game. Did better back there. Hadn't I? A little speech you gave to Young. It was an improvement. Compared to what you tried with Porter, at least. That was different. I wasn't trying to console her like I was with Isaac Porter. I was just speaking my mind. Although I may have paraphrased parts of it from a movie I haven't happened to love. Here I was ready to award you 20 points. I didn't know the points even went that high. Speaking of... Yeah, I was about to say, that's a little cliche. What's that thing where, like, somebody wants to learn how to forgive? I feel like there's multiple stories, but there's one in particular. It's like... I don't know how to... It's like a children's book or something, probably. Oh, I know what she's talking about. Or I know what I'm thinking about. It's Dogman. But she's saying it's from movies. And not only did the Dogman movie come out, I think, before or during the production of this, or after or during the production of this, but I don't think the forgiveness part was even in the movie, as far as I can recall. That's like when little Petey is talking to Grandpa, about like, you ruined my dad's life, but I guess I could forgive you. Or maybe Petey's talking about, I can't remember. Whatever. What did Porter say to you back there before he left the courthouse? Ah, that. Well, he was quiet at first. And he said a lot of strong words about Father, and Noble Electronics, and the capitalist-centered global economic model as a whole. He blamed all of them, everyone except for... Then he stopped and stared at my face for a while. Then his allergies must have started bothering him because he needed to blow his nose a lot. Right. Then he left after transferring a large packet of files to me. What kind of files? I don't know. The name of the archivist is David. Isaac Porter told me I wasn't allowed to look inside. Well then, you're not allowed to look inside. Drop it all on a portable drive and we'll tuck it in its shoebox somewhere. We? We are headed to your apartment. Guess that caller didn't permanently dent your GPS. Why? Because it's where I live? You got somewhere else lined up? But you already prepaid your favor. You defended Father and me. Oh my god! You don't know anything about my favor. I never will, unless you tell me. Father certainly can't. A few years ago there was a man. What is hypnosis? This man got an idea in his head. Stupid idea, not even his own. Splinted there by an algorithm or meme or... some parasite trying to sell him diet supplements. The idea took root, spread its tendrils till it could flap his mouth for him. The idea was that David was part of an international capable of wealthy technocrats, seeking to replace prominent influential figures with Android lookalikes. All as part of a multi-decade effort to establish a world government that would legalize all kinds of amoral depravity, which I guess, based on David's actual politics, would involve increasing access to computer literacy. That's insane. Why would anyone believe it? Because it's comfortable to them to think that someone's neutral, even if it's someone they hate. It's fun to feel like you're in on an all-encompassing puzzle that only you can spot. People believe because they want to believe. So he read the idea, pushed it down deep in his gray matter, then it consumed him from the inside out. Lobotomized him. Took over his life. Spent every day, and all the money he had following your father, harassing him, trying to steal his identity, break into his properties. My father go to the authorities? 5 police reports for harassment. Which didn't help. Your words, not mine. Noble wouldn't get involved, felt that it was best to ignore these types until they wore themselves out. But even a man of modest means could feel an obsession for years, so long as they have nothing else in their life. One day, David stepped out of the parking lot, and the man threw a bottle of piss at his head. David asked to stay at my place that night. It smelled terrible, looked horrendous. I'd never seen anyone look that tired before. I took the couch that night, but I didn't feel like sleeping, so I went for a walk. Remember, it's foggy, but it only took me all of 15 minutes to find the guy, posted up with his phone's camera. Trying to get a video of David Asher gifting androids to known sex offenders. And what did you do? You know me, I did what I did best. I talked to him. I like this little photo. Told him about how I used to work for Dr. Escher, that I was ashamed, scared, tired of running. I wanted to do the right thing, be the whistleblower. So I walked with him a few blocks to this big veterinary facility with a massive incinerator. Told him this is where Dr. Asher had his enemies' bodies disposed of. You know, all the free-thinking journalists, cops who weren't on the take, the politicians they were replacing with replicas. I like that vet clinic. The back door's lock was always set to 1, 2, 3, 4. Did you hurt him? Hurt him? No, I just snapped his neck and chucked him into the incinerator. More physical than I had planned, but he smelled like a sour shit and put me in a film. Disgusting. I savored the crack with the soiled vertebrae crunching like a tin can. No, Sarah, I should scare the hell out of him. That was my intention at first. What I do for the pleasure of it. Him, I axed because he was just that revolting. I convinced him the conspiracy was more real than he ever imagined. That it angered the wrong people, that the consequences were far darker than any of the filth he indulged in on the net. His ashes, much like himself, amounted to nothing in an incinerator incinerator that size. They're probably feeding seaweed at the bottom of the harbor right now. Oh my god! I was thinking about this. She's only been a serial killer for like a month or a couple months. But no, she's been doing this. Oh my god. Much greater contribution to society than he ever would have managed in life. But I guess he didn't go around to all his many friends before he fled town for whatever rat hole he preferred. So there was a missing persons report. Cops were just doing their due diligence, almost reluctantly. But they questioned David, asked him about the night the man disappeared. David, without a thought for himself, said that we were together that whole night. That he couldn't sleep, and I stayed up with him. They never saw me leave once. David lied to the cops for me, even though I never asked him to, even though I didn't need him to. Though that's what you owe him. That's why you put yourself at risk to defend me. Yeah. That's the favor I owe him. And I decide when it's repaid, not you. Adonai. You're not exactly an upstanding citizen, are you? Well, you could say that. David trusted me in spite of that. Maybe because of it. These street lamps look like an IUD. Father did trust you, but he also doesn't trust in me with free will, with the ability to tell right from wrong. So I'll decide for myself whether or not you're worthy of trust. Fair enough. Father entrusted all of us with free will. He believed in us, and he believed in people. I'm going to do the same. If the others are out there, they'll be changed and confused. It'll take them time to understand what they are and what they can do. So I'm going to start studying. Pardon? I'm going to study people and all things people build. I like how when the loop's done, it just teleports back to wherever they are, wherever it started. So when I do meet a member of my family, I'll have lots to tell them. At least you have something to look forward to. Should help keep you motivated as you work off your debt. Debt? Yeah, unless you have cash in one of your 89 coat pockets. You know lawyers cost money, right? Technically you were defending yourself. Technically you hired me in a verbal contract. Since there's some kind of exit clause, you could, of course, sign a release for him to get out of the detainer. But if you were a human being, that is. But I guess your luck must be turning around. Happens that I've been meaning to hire a paralegal for a while now. I hate anything to do with interviews and resumes, so whatever. You're hired. Adonai? Could it be that you're actually a pushover? You have no idea how far off the mark you are. I see. It seems I still need practice reading people. For starters, what's this? What are you doing with your hand? We should shake on it. Our new relationship. Yeah, sure. You and me are practically partners in crime. I remember that time Cranky was trying to get rid of the text so he could goon to one of these splash pages. Should it not be you and I? Hehe. Set terms with your nearest hire. Oh my god. Oh my god. Esteban is crazy. They should put bloom filters on that. She does so much free promo for the game. Special thanks to Adrienne, Alter Links, Exumbrant, Killjilt, Maddo, Main Monks. Special thanks to DevDog, Philly Game Mechanics, our friends and family, you the players. Of the card Doco, made with Unity, Native Novel, Dot Ween, Pro Builder, Shapes, game by Anthro Studio, Devil Episode 1, I Don't Mind, Finn! Congratulations on clearing Episode 1 High Roller. Bonus charm earned. Red. It's me. I know, man. What do you mean? You know, this is disposable line. You're the only guy I know who'd bother. Okay, well, you're gonna be glad I did. Hope you've put a bow on everything that happened in Uptown. Because that item you've been looking for is finally on its way. Oh, well that is good news. Not exactly. Only reason it's happening is because things are starting to heat up again in the lower wards. Could mean a gang war, something that doesn't change. Organized gang ties? They won't be eager to part with it ahead of a storm like that. I'll eyeball them. I've seen you negotiate. And I have no doubt you drive a hard bargain. But I don't think money will be enough this time. You don't still have that old Calver, do you? The 6-shooter? No. This is a disposable line. Answer still no. Now what are you going to do if you get there and it's not for sale? I'll ask nicely. To be continued in The Devil Episode 2. His Due. Do I get an ad or no? Alright. 7 articles, 15 profiles, 40 key terms, 30 pieces of evidence, total credits earned. Congrats! I finished episode 1 to 111. High score is 111. Concept and bonus scores based on the score. So a total of 116 remaining score credit. Spent on phone charms and case colors. It's the highest credit this episode with. Okay. Plan release date 2025. I cannot fucking wait. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Should I compile all the footage and post it like right now? Okay, let's see here. Aw. What is that, Morgan interview? I might do this someday. I record it with a full glass of water. Ooh. Because I've accidentally clicked on one of these interviews and it took like a while to get through. Like even with skipping everything, butterflying. I want to see this though. Ready to give up yet? Oh, this is what we've been staring at this footage for hours. We can call it quits whenever you like. Me? You kidding? I could do this all night. But my makeup's starting to feel cakey, so 5-minute break? Deal. What were you hoping to find anyway? I don't know. I had my fingers crossed there. Some shadowy figure would walk into frame and hold up a confession, but what about you? You already got her on cam? While handling the murder weapon. How many more nails do you need in the coffin? 1 or 2 should suffice. Guess the truth is, I was curious. What does a homicidal AI get up to in his spare time? Turns out it's cash potato. What's with all the TV? Why is half it in black and white? Public domain? Seriously? I think digital from the 20s or 30s is too polluted to be useful. Go back in time 70 years and it's all clean as spring water. Also free. It had color in 2016, Morgan. I don't know then. They had color long before that. Particular homicidal AI happens to be Old Soul. Hold on, what was that? There. Look at her go. She's tearing the thing apart. What, the computer? That's how you learn to put them together. I should try and terrify bear folks with this. She's a machine. It's not like she's sucking the frog. Sir is a machine. She's ripping out circuitry without hesitation. She's a human child that'd be like, you're reaching. Yeah, I guess so. Besides, telling me you never pulled apart your dolls when you were a kid? No, I didn't. Did you? I was a kid. I didn't play with dolls. So what did you play with? Normal kid stuff? Sticks and stones, birds and squirrels. She's acting like she lives in the fucking 1970s. Oh my god. Imagine, imagine, oh god. I might live to a time where the 90s is no longer, uh, it doesn't mean 1990 anymore. Haha. I mean, I can kinda see it, skipping through the enchanted forest, big poofy dress, tiara. Gee, no castle? Nah, no castle. I can tell you didn't have it that rough. Is it rough living in a castle? It's a lot of empty rooms when you're a kid. I need to go wash my face. Sure. If you fell asleep in the toilet, I am gonna keep going without you. If you're drilling on the keyboard when I get back, I'm gonna handcuff you to the desk. Fair is fair. Fun. Okay. Let's see some concept. Oh man. Alright, Sarah. I guess that's what she wears under that humongous ass coat that she's like always fucking wearing. I wonder what happens if you see a band. Scan the barcode. Street crossing. This is Fran. Hat hair. Morgan's apartment. Judge Barrows. car. This car is I just realized this car is weird as hell. No seatbelts, first of all. Just like a couch. It's cool. Got Porter. Midtones. Pearl plus gold. Midtones is David. Wait. I want to see the wireless. That's cute. Morgan's lighter. Oh my god, they're trying to getting freaky with some of these designs. I like the translucent lab coat. I can't tell if that's supposed to represent like an actual white lab coat, non-translucent, that's opaque. That's opaque, but it's just like shown as translucent to show her the rest of her clothing and accessories, or if it's like she actually just has like a raincoat on. 84. So at first it was like they tried to make like an actual judge with like the old woman hair and the robe or the gown or whatever it's called. Then trying to make her like Miku. And then they got over here and then made her a little bit older. I like her. But there's more. Some incredible ass legs. David's penthouse. Club. Starling and Dawes. Okay, this was like, I get this. I get this design, and it's much more apparent that these are not, like these sleeves are not her arms. But then, I don't know why that got lost in translation. Maybe it's because it was too similar to like her skirt or something. And also I like how they try to make Dawes more cool, but then they made him a wimp. And yeah, they have the same earpiece. Tech Pro vest, but cyber. Helen Young. Her figure and features are mostly the same, but there's mostly choosing an outfit for her. It seems like this middle one got chosen with a palette swap. Works pretty well. It's actually very, cause like I don't read or watch a lot of mysteries. Like the last actual mystery novel I watched last year, I was unsure how a mystery novel would end. Like, what do you do? Like, is it that satisfying to have it be someone we know, or is it more satisfying to be some hidden third party, or I don't know. That's just whatever. I'm pretty proud of my score. It was like 111. I'm pretty proud of it. I wish that I did the first part first try, but I did clutch up. I did clutch up on the second trial, and it was like I was like at 60, 40 around that. That was pretty good. Double boardroom. These environments are cool, I suppose. We got more employee stuff. So this is what it came out to be. Okay, it makes sense in our full portrait, but like above here, the tones of her sleeve and then her skin seem slightly similar. So it's like she's not wearing any sleeves at all. And then I guess this makes sense, but would we ever see anybody's back? What's this orange thing? Why is there just like a geometric orange piece of cloth on his clothing? And then masters. They made her. I did not notice that she had an arm. In fact, she didn't appear at all. Her portrait didn't appear at all since she was mostly through text messaging. But yeah, you're trying to go for some like old, slightly older, like I don't really know how to say it. Like someone who makes money and fucks bitches, basically. And that's it. Real quick, before I do that, let me just go here. Hopefully my timeline isn't ruined. I'm going shopping. Morgan time. Okay. Shice. Saddle stuck. I'm not even thought. Word for playing of the devil. No! There's a demo. I would have tapped in. If I knew about this early, I definitely would have tapped in. I love this game. Oh, cool. Earn for clearing episode 1. Really cool. Hey, yo! Hey, yo! Hold on. Okay, I've heard about this. Shit. It's not her role. Okay. I'm changing it back, please. Sarah, save me. Let's see. Morgan, school. Morgan! Fran. I don't like the fucking fidget W's. Look weird. Black. Rose gold looks nice. Magenta. It's very stark. Red. Fits Morgan. Teal. It's cute. Yellow. Tyler yellow, nonetheless. Sato. Where I can just get all of these, can't I? Hell yeah. Okay, my favorite is Morgan. It's very simple, very cute. The rose gold looks nice. The red also looks nice, but I think I prefer the rose gold. Sarah's really cute, of course. Emma is funny, quite large too. This is freaky. I don't wanna. I'm not walking out with that. I'm not walking that as a fucking. On a fucking phone charm. Yeah, hold on. No. Grace doesn't get an actual charm? Okay then. And London gets nothing. Okay, I'll do Sarah with a... Yeah. Okay. Well, that is Of the Devil episode 1. I might do a video of my thoughts of this. It'll be a lot shorter than whatever compilation this is gonna be. I don't know if I'm just should I might just I'll put it as separate recordings because they were separate recordings, of course. It'll be funny if my thing of OBS was recording this whole time. It is. I'm not that stupid. Well, fucking amazing. What do I have to say before I get out of here? Quick save file. Backlog. Hide HU. Hide you. Oh my god, that could have been so. Oh my god. I should have. Fuck. Stupid. No, cranky stupid. Should have figured. Should have go to settings. Whatever. Well, one last thing. If you're. I guess thanks to Nth Circle Studios for making this game, which is very good. And also thank you to Bloom Filters on Twitter for recommending this game. Can't wait to be annoying about it to my friends. Okay, bye.